Hello and welcome back to Fate Grand Order. I'm Luce, and tonight we're going to be continuing some more of the Realm of Thanatos Impulse, Traum. Last time we finally managed to obtain ourselves some allies, but not without great cost. We never even learned their names. The worst part. Yet we shall always remember that set that gave everything to save us. And of course, we found the truth behind the righteous realm. Although that truth may be getting out sooner than desired. Very unfortunate. Unknown record. Idle talk in the dead of night. This is pure cutscene, so I got my drink ready. Waterfall. Ah. I wouldn't mind if Moriarty made a cameo in Arknights. We've already got plenty of criminals and war criminals and terrible people. Well, there he'd honestly fit in better than he probably should. Sherlock Holmes, my eternal rival. He is the light to my shadow. However, in this new role as the foreign disciple, our past rivalry is irrelevant. Only his abilities matter now, his capacity to observe, deduce, and reach the truth. I cannot have him bringing those abilities to bear here. So I planted the seeds of doubt. I appeared to him and showered him in a torrent of utter nonsense. Utter nonsense. But assuming my position is assured, he will no doubt lose sight of what's truly important thanks to my efforts. If Holmes means to uncover the truth, then I shall be a wall to block his progress. Never overcome the barrier I represent, I see. It seems the foreign god thinks this through very well. It's a shame Vlad sealed himself away in his own stakes. A powerful servant like him would have made a powerful piece on the board. Yeah, the fact he's sealed away and not dead is a very noted difference. This means we're gonna get him back. Possibly not until the end game, however. Oh well, I suppose I should just have to move some other pieces instead. Oh, but what about... I just can't say. My apologies. No matter how hard I try, I can't seem to get a read on this particular Moriarty. I don't believe he's the Singularity's master, but aside from that... What's with you? Usually so hedgy. Nonetheless, I've arrived at a conclusion, the one that yet remains ill-defined. The Singularity, masters are all but meaningless. And doesn't mean it's impossible to get rid of the servants here by simply finding and killing the single master. It would be nice if that was the case. Yes, I believe we should assume as much. That's gonna be a problem. We recruited you Chaldeans because we were counting you precisely that. You were? Naturally, that no way precludes us from cooperating in a cooperating in a different manner. For example, we could simply win this war against revenge and reinstatement realms, acquire the Holy Grail sustaining those, and cause the Singularity to collapse. Would that not be a viable option? Well, sure, if we could actually accomplish that. What about the numbers problem? Their armies are vastly larger than ours. Of course, I've taken that consideration, and I remain confident we can actually win. There are certainly plenty of challenges to overcome, but the situation is by no means hopeless. You think, sir? All right, Sir Sherlock Holmes. Yes? Please, save proper human history for us. Consider it done. That being said, there's only so many things we can do at the moment. Our first few steps should be taking a small mobile commando unit. Then we'll have a few other servants accompany you. There are servants besides Roland and Astolfo we're sure we can trust. Thank you, that'd be a great help. The safe bet they'll be keeping our eye... Safe bet they'll be keeping our eye on us, too. That aside, Sancho's pretty much been running the show ever since they revealed their true identity, hasn't she? In fact, come to think of it, she was the one who conveyed that what Charles the Great was supposedly saying the entire time. I guess it makes sense that Sancho would be better political stuff than Don Quixote, given his background. It'd be one thing if it was she was just Sancho, but the story of Don Quixote also has an imaginary princess, a deceptive maid, and the nameless Duchess. Who cares? Even if things turn out badly. Even if things turn out badly. No, that's Caldea's problem, really the Master's. I'm just here to provide support, that's all. Okay, that concludes our business for today. We prepared rooms for all of you, so I invite you to relax the remainder. So, alrighty, so... Well, sir, you heard them. Sounds like they'll take more than killing a master to repair the singularity. So it does. What do we do, speaking for myself? No, 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 absolutely not, Sancho. I would still have to stay on this throne. I have a duty to uphold, no matter what anyone says. Isn't that right? Sir, if that's what you want. Alright, then I'll come with a few possible missions for the commando unit. Good, good, good. Please allow me to select the servant who will keep an eye on them. We may be low on personnel, but we're still in charge of an entire realm. There's a large population of capable servant resources to choose from. Always good to do resources. We're being monitored, but also doesn't seem as though they can hear us. I can put up a light soundproofing bounded field for good measure. Would you like me to do that? If you would. I have the feeling everyone's voice is going to keep changing. I apologize for that in advance. Oh, we've had a chance to relax and catch our breaths, which... is all well and good. But going forward, how can we be sure we can rely on Don Quixote instead of Great Charles the Great? We probably shouldn't. Right? Nonetheless, this was still our only option available. Both the Revenge Realm and Reinstatement Realm are fully functioning, autonomous societies. They have demonstrated clear hostility to all proper human history. If the Righteous Realm was similarly inclined, our goose would well and truly be cooked, as they say. Well, yes, I suppose that's true, but never mind that now, Gordy. Isn't there something else you should be doing first? Yes, you're right. Man, alright, Master, I commend you on making it back alive. Well done, my boy. Thank you, sir. However, what have I told you about not getting captured in the first place? My poor heart can only take so much. Sorry. Say, gotta say, though, this really is impressive that you made it back alive. Eva, frankly, I had some bets going that you wouldn't make it. I guess I owe some people money. Indeed, I suppose it just goes to show how luck, both good and bad, truly can be a skill. I'm surprised, though, to hear you found a servant willing to betray your side to help you. Just remember, Gordolf, servants are hardly mindless puppets. We have thoughts and emotions of our own. Sometimes me and new people can spur us to grow and temporarily grow and change. Of course, we must remember only records are sent back to the throne, so unfortunately we aren't able to preserve those feelings and memories across summonings. They only do in this game because part of this game's purpose is to advertise other Fate products. Why do you think the Fate Stay Night crew gets so many damn buffs, interludes, and store things? At any rate, who is the Seton person anyway? You know, I did never manage to figure that out. I should never got a glimpse of her. I see. I just hope it's not Musashi or something like that. But I fully expect, if not in this chapter, in some future chapter, she's gonna be returning. Yeah, if only because, well, to be blunt, they made such a big deal out of her sacrifice, and I do think it's good that they haven't brought her back, but I have the feeling they're gonna ruin it and bring her back at some point for a really big thing. Especially since she was, long story short, I don't have her as a unit in my Chaldea, but if you summon her, she actually has a buff that gives her an oddly specific anti-class trait. That is so specific, it's clearly for lore purposes, but it doesn't make sense with what we have currently. So it's speculated she's going to be returning at some point or another. You can return to this Mr. Seton later. Right now, we still have more pressing matters to discuss. So hey, I put together a table of everything we know about these three realms. Would you like to see it? I see no reason why not. Especially since we're going to need a bit of a recap after last time. God, I'll put up on screen. Scale, army quality. Leaders, alright, so... Greatest threat, army's top-notch, disciplined, perhaps a bit more disciplined compared to a Revenge Realm. Soul Realm allied to proper ministry, though this can only be said of certain servants here. Robe, Don Quixote includes a stoleful one. Seeing it all laid out by this, it's pretty obvious the Righteous Realm hasn't got anything go for it. Honestly, it's kind of amazing they've managed to survive for this long. To be quite skilled in battle, and let's not forget the natural defenses this location affords them. Expect they also have a countermeasure for servants attempting to use spirit forms break in. They may be servants, but they'll be easily intercepted if they're on foot, especially if they march in large numbers. Not to mention that if one of the other factions were to attack, the remaining faction would no doubt be quick to take advantage of that opening. I doubt she planned all this out intentionally, but it's an impressive state of affairs all the same. Well, Holmes, the question still remains. What are you planning to do next? First of all, we should discuss the Moriarty calling himself a foreign disciple. It's safe to assume he's operating behind the scenes. While we could try to pursue him, I would certainly not solve the Singularity's root cause. Right, being a foreign disciple means he's technically from a problem that's outside this particular story chapter. So he's going to be an overall problem to deal with, but that doesn't necessarily make him an immediate problem. After all, we didn't deal with Ramasa or Doman right away, even though they were present for quite some time. Oh, and you're going to work with this realm to destroy the other realms like you said you would earlier? Indeed, I do not believe we have any chance of negotiating anything else. Well, that'll be fine. This isn't a Lostbelt after all. Since they're the ones who started this war, they must be prepared for the consequences. But first, you're going to start off in a commando unit, right? I wonder what that'll involve. Pardon me, may I come in? Switch to comms to radio. Remember, in this mode, your response will seem like a soliloquy. Sure, doors open. I'm the Righteous Realm servant who will be part of this commander unit. My name is Zufu. I am Caster. Zufu? Who's that? He's a Chinese court sorcerer who searched for the elixir of immortality on Qi Xin Huang's orders brought her to Japan. That's all I know. If you want to know more, ask her yourself. Okay, if you don't know who I am. I know I'm a minor hero. See, a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Miss Zufu. We remember you from previous events, but Sherlock Holmes, detective. This is Kadok, the master. At least that's what the secretary told me your aliases were. I understand you cannot speak freely for a variety of reasons. Still, I'd be thrilled if you told me more. So tell me. Just say, all in good time. Oh yes, very smooth. That aside, 2 casters in an extra class. Weird makeup for a group. That's a long story. Lady Zufu, would be alright if I introduce myself now? Yes, should be fine. Probably should introduce the other servant joining this unit. Well, I assure you, I didn't forget about him or anything like that. I'm sure. No one in the secretary trusts you so deeply, it should agree with their statues. I'm Dearmud, one of the Knights of Fianna. Also known as Dearmud the Dazzling. Pleased to meet you. Oh, it sounds like you already know who I am. I'm surprised, I'm not that famous. Oh, perhaps we met in another Singularity or during a Holy Grail War at some point. If we have, I'm afraid I have no memory of that, but here, I'll be proud to fight beside you. Work with me as hard as you need for this assignment. I call it Hero's Hero, beauty indeed. Bit technical advisor. You've always loved things so beautiful, haven't you? Alright, now that we've made our introductions, perhaps you could tell us about our mission. Of course. Our mission is to determine the enemy's military strength and secure an abandoned stronghold. Unfortunately, we're so low on personnel, we have to accomplish both in one day. You can tell the secretary is ready to run us ragged, me included. It's gonna be such a hassle, I wish I could just run away. Well, that was a sudden depressing turn. I'm sure this is obvious, but just to be clear, I'll stick to providing rear support. Dear Mud here is going to lead the charge. That's right, I'll do everything in my power to escort you all to safety. Damn, he's so radiant it hurts to look at him. I still understand how the dazzling part of him actually manifests physically like that. Don't worry, I promise I won't dazzle anyone while we're undercover. I guess it's too much to ask for you not to dazzle in daily life, huh? Ahem. And we'll be setting out tomorrow morning, bright and early. I recommend you all change your spirit forms or otherwise get as much rest as you can tonight. Sounds good to me. Let me grab a sip of my drink and dive right back in. Yeah, this is a VN, so I've got fluid with me, and I'm gonna have to use it regularly. I know Zufu is fairly popular, mostly for coming because she's I guess it's coming up soon. I can say it here. At time of streaming, she's coming up for the anniversary, I believe. So it should be interesting to see her in action. She might even be playable here. Depends if they finished the sprites and combat stuff for her before the story released. Sometimes it's not always the case. Hence why, say, during Babylonia, you fight a giant ghost instead of proper Resh. Oh. Hi, it's me, Kadok. Keep your voice down. I want to talk with you. Outside. Okay, should do it. You ready, Mash? Yeah, I'm here. As you requested, Da Vinci's working on the Ortonax. Director Gordolph is asleep, and the night staff are all dozing off, too. The sleeping pills work really quick. The only member of Chaldea currently on active duty, but why do you want to talk to us alone? Just to be safe. After I woke up, I reviewed your records of everything that happened after the Russian Lostbelt, including records about the man from Chaldea. He's not really Dr. Roman. Yeah, his personality is completely different. There's some speculation of who that is, but I have the feeling it's going to be discussed here. I don't know who he is either, but we'll have to put that aside for now. More importantly, do you remember what he said about there being someone who can't be trusted? What Archer said afterward about something feeling off. Yeah. I really can't believe you went and reported everything they told you when they were very clear you should have kept it a secret. I guess it wouldn't be you if you hadn't. You even remember those records too, Mash? Did you even think about who the man from what the man from Chaldea might have meant? I mean, it's all there in the report. I've given some thought, yes, but it seemed too far-fetched to take seriously. Not exactly sound like a mystery lover here. Just dropped it like that. Not another thought. Not at all. Head empty. It was the opposite. I believe I thought about as much as I logically could, but no matter how much I thought through what he said, it never made any more sense. So, well, if someone on Chaldea's staff cannot be trusted, that would mean one of them is a traitor. There's no evidence anyone's betrayed us, and most importantly, there's no actual motive for anyone to do so. Call this kind of mystery a why it done it. Well, I've heard of those. Whoever told me about it also said there's no meaning to be found in figuring out how done it's where mages are concerned, not when they can do almost anything, including things outside the natural realm. For the reason they committed a crime, the why done it, that is always meaningful. Yeah, we have the thing that would have automatically warned us if there was a foreign disciple. Well, so it's not anyone the foreign gods summoned, and the last remaining here are from the proper human history, so theoretically there's no reason for them to help a random Lostbelt or whatever, nor the alien god that's the foreign god. Right, and that clears everyone's Chaldea's current staff of suspicion. I can't see any reason as a member of our staff would want to wipe the earth clean. They're just hiding their motivation. They would have tripped up a long time ago. If they didn't have a reason to reset Earth, they wouldn't have had any reason to help prevent it either. Yeah, that's true. The crime's already been committed here, so why would a traitor help the organization trying to undo it? Same goes for the servants. That includes me, Nemo, Da Vinci, Holmes. None of us have anything to gain from Earth being wiped. If anything, the opposite holds true. That just leaves Scion, you, and Senpai, Master, and your alibi is airtight. You weren't even in Chaldea at the time. Senpai, of course, isn't a viable choice either. Frankly speaking, if he gave up on everything, our instant... Yeah, literally all our character has to do is say, I don't feel like doing this anymore, stop, and it's all over. There's no need to play traitor and stuff when simply not acting uh, would have fixed the problem, the quote-unquote problem of, you know, us saving the world. I suppose Scion, as a member of the Atlas Institute, could see this incident somewhat differently than we do. And that in turn could potentially give her some kind of motive, maybe, but she's already done something that invalidates that theory. When the foreign god gave us a pseudo-black hole to destroy the Wandering Sea, here, Scion stayed behind at the very last second, at the risk of her life. If she meant to betray us, it would have been the perfect time and place to do so. Frankly, if she had known what was going to happen ahead of time and escaped on her own, we would already all be dead by now. Are you really not suspicious that I did something at all, somehow? I mean, knowing those two, they could have predicted that I eventually come back to Chaldea. True, but it wouldn't make sense for you to have started this conversation if you were the traitor. Yeah, and just to be totally clear, I didn't betray anyone. I figured that, but it feels better just having him outright say it. Well, I guess that's not true. I did betray all proper human history once. But I definitely don't have the guts to betray anyone holding a collar that could kill me at any moment. I think you have plenty of guts, but aside from that, I agree with you. Betraying someone to save your own skin when you know betraying them will get you killed anyway doesn't make sense no matter how you look at it. And that's not all. Me, the master, the staff, our actions have all been consistent. My case is a bit more complex, sure, but it still checks out in consistency. Long story short, I betrayed human history, lost you guys, critically injured, recovered, and now I'm helping you guys with restrictions on my behavior, simply because it beats being locked up or, killed. Sure, I wasn't exactly being virtuous, but I am being consistent, yeah. That's true in the end. I have to think the one from Chaldea might have been mistaken. Oh, let me get... Yeah, he's bringing it up because he has an idea who it might be. Senpai? I'm not sure, but I just have one more question. I think you can answer it with a search of the library mash. And if it leads up to a clear answer, you can just forget about it. But if it doesn't, I think we might be on to something. I already went ahead and launched the library search system just to be in case. What's your question, Kadok? It's about the servants. Let's start with Da Vinci. Chaldea summoned the original Da Vinci and her successor as a unit carrying work in her stead. Yeah, and for the record, in Lostbelt 6, it did end with Da Vinci unfortunately revealing that her current body is failing. She has to keep its upkeep, but she's not sure how much longer it's going to last. Rather unfortunate. So we know that Chaldea is her summoner, and that she's helping before the incineration of humanity. Nemo was summoned by Scion. At least that's what the records say. He's got some phantom and divine spirits mixed in with him, but his summoning's legit. And the servants that Master is contracted with, including you, should be fine. Oh, Kadok, you don't mean... Yeah, my question is about Sherlock Holmes. Who summoned him, when and where do they do it? That's something that actually goes back to the incineration of humanity, the first story arc, the titular Grand Order. Master does more than just serve as a boundary for their servant. Through their contract, the Master serves as an anchor to keep them grounded in reality. That's the biggest reason they need Masters, even when those Masters are of no help in battle between here. Compared to that, Magecraft support's just a nice bonus. And what about rogue servants? Good question. Yeah, there's been servants in other singularities who didn't belong to Chaldea or the enemy's side. But it was the land itself that summoned them, using the power of the Holy Grail which spawned the given singularity, in an attempt to put history back on its original track. Basically, rogue servants use the land as a vessel, so it's no surprise they can act without a master. And of course, there are also rogue servants in the Lostbelt who don't depend on the Holy Grail. Beowulf in Russia leaps to mind. Maybe that's what happened with Holmes. We first met him at the Atlas Institute, so... No, wait. Yeah, we met him during Camelot, the Sixth Singularity. He was in the Atlas Institute. Oh, we didn't meet, but he was at the Mages Association in London. That's right, I'm sorry, I guess I wasn't thinking straight. Yeah, you're right, Senpai. He himself said he left a message for us in London. Right, while we only directly met... Right, while we only directly met him in the Sixth Singularity, he did in fact leave us something in the Fourth, London. London, you managed to safely acquire the information I left the Mage Association, correct? It was just paperwork, but it must have been worth £1,000 to you at the time. I could definitely see the land summoning him in London, because that makes sense. He's, British and very good for dealing with problems. But then, how did he show up in Camelot and Shinjuku? We've asked Holmes about that, and he said he managed to prolong his materialization and ray-shifted on his own. You mean like Miyamoto Musashi? No, he can't do it repeatedly like she could. He said twice was his limit, it came at the cost of severely weakening himself. According to him, those two forced ray shifts effectively rendered him incapable of combat. See, that's why he did almost no fighting in Shinjuku. After Shinjuku, he and Senpai Master formed an official contract. That got rid of his debuff, but also made it impossible for him to ray shift alone. At least that's what he said before. Now that makes sense, but still, something is bothering me. I figure out what it could be. What's notable is that before this story chapter came out, every interlude for a servant related to this story chapter became available even if you hadn't summoned them. So ones like Vlad, Siegfried, all that, they are there. Siegfried, I'm pretty sure, is because his wife Kriemhild is there. However, because I had Sherlock myself, I was able to get his interlude directly. I don't have Moriarty, but I know Archer Moriarty, but I do know his basically tells you that when it comes down, you can always trust an evil man to be evil, but you can't tell for someone like Holmes and to trust him whenever it comes down to it. And Sherlock's is basically a response to that, where Sherlock actually genuinely doesn't know who a lot of the details about his summoning, but he can at least promise that he is. The exact wording was something along the lines of, he will not do anything that the protagonist would disapprove of. Because Moriarty does actually confront him and ask him if he do anything. And this is very important, because it's easy to make a promise, oh, I'll always do what for the greater good or whatever. It's basically how a lot of angels end up turning against some people, because a lot of times the greater good might not necessarily be in the interests of the protagonist or their team. I mean, you see that in SMT all the time. And when angels promise they'll help greater good, only turn out the greater good is not good for you. But Sherlock specifically said it's whatever he's truly after, it's not something the protagonist would disapprove of. And obviously our protagonist would disapprove of sacrifice many for, to save the world or whatever. Or where basically anime protagonist where nothing's going to go wrong. Where we need to just save everyone. The Shiro Emi way of going about it. Likely by intention. So, and that exact wording makes me wonder. Still, I can say that much without a doubt. Holmes of all people would never betray us. There's no way. We take all of his accomplishments, his attitude, motives, everything about him into consideration. It's obvious there's no theory that could explain why he'd have done such a thing. Trust Holmes completely. How about you? Now, I do know Holmes is a good guy is actually technically a dodging the question, because the question is not if he's a good guy, it's how much you can trust him. Guess it doesn't matter either way, I'm just giving you some food for thought. Having said that, actually, I suppose it is possible something, like I said, Holmes doesn't actually remember the exact nature of his summoning. As we found out with Oberon in Lostbelt 6, the nature of someone's summoning can be very relevant. So it's possible that Holmes doesn't know something about what that could be a problem. So he's not actively, at least I can confirm 100% he's not actively against us. But if there's something about him, like if there's a ticking time bomb in his body or something, he wouldn't, and he doesn't know about it, that would be a problem. But at the same time, how do you hide something from the world's greatest detective? Because, like, if he did have a magic bomb or something hidden inside him the entire time, surely he'd have realized that, right? There'd obviously be weird things about him that he'd have to figure out. Oh, be all, gee, this doesn't add up, and then eventually go, wait a minute, there has to be something here. But that hasn't happened. Forget about this whole discussion. This is Holmes we're talking about here. I don't want things to get awkward if you trust him, and if you start dying him now, it's not gonna take long for Sherlock freaking Holmes to figure that out. That's easier said than done. Maybe you should hit my head to make me forget. Wow, our protagonist is... I do that. I can just really use a basic spell for sealing memories. It can only be cast the target consents, though, when it comes to some restrictions. Without me, how can I forget? There's a file in Caldeo's library. Hit a memory sealing scroll there in the airplane goat section. All you need to just inscribe a date and time. Alpine goat. Okay, I'll try that. If my Pathfinder character has learned anything, it's never underestimate spell scrolls. Those can be extremely helpful. Alex, Master. There's only a seal. It won't make you forget completely. Your subconscious will remember this conversation. So if you really do trust Holmes, keep observing and doubting him so we can put this to rest. Trust him that much more. Alright, see you tomorrow. We are the Charles Commandos. Ooh, a saber. Ooh, a lancer mission. So I'm gonna bring out my sabers, and there's one I want to bring out immediately. Because if I'm right, there's something off about Holmes, but it may not necessarily be something negative. At the same time, well, we can worry about that later. Senpai? Foo! Good morning. And a lovely morning it is. Right you are. Right you are. It's perfect weather for your first day of work as part of the new commando unit. There's not a single bad omen to be seen, I think. Or at least none that will acknowledge. Good morning, everyone. It's me, Zufu. I know short notice. We should get going right away. The sooner we leave, the sooner we can get back and rest up. Munch, munch, munch. Sounds good to me. Let's get this done. That's what I like to hear. Munch, munch, munch. And no point in giving her a rough time. Oh, munch. Why should just cover her ears? That means, good morning, everyone. Hope you're excited to get started as I am. Is Peppy this early? Guys hadn't come along. I'd have had to work with him alone. My stomach aches the idea of just thinking about it. Ha ha ha. Be that as it may, just because it's morning doesn't mean we won't run into any enemies. We'll take advantage of this opportunity to demonstrate how useful we can be. I'll take the front line as we discussed yesterday. Hey, well, Holmes Master, you two should keep in the middle. And Lady Zufu should bring up the rear. Are we agreed? Yeah, works for me. Also something I learned in my tabletop adventures. Put the mages in the middle, not the squishy ones in the middle, not at the back, because it's surprisingly common that something might sneak up on you. Come along, too. Doesn't seem like there's anything for me to do around here on my own. Then let's be on our way. We'll leave for the north by the main road. Sounds good to me, I guess. Now, I've been wondering something since we got here. Does the commerce even function in this realm? Better than you'd think. Of course, all transactions are made with QP. Besides, there's no point in hanging on to more enhancement resources than you need after killing the demonic beast. That's how servants of all three realms enhance their spirit origins. Still have a long way to go myself, but at least I'm doing better than you guys. But yeah, I'm not even a servant. Oh, hang on, I want to do some shopping while we're here. Oh, is she buying rocks? Can you see me? Wait, that voice, it's Seton? Okay, so it's not Musashi. That's good. Hey, looks like we got away clean. Congratulations. Why the hood? Well, this not to say I've got my reasons for wanting to keep to myself around here. Everything going alright with you? Yep, everything's fine. Oh, honestly, I'm a lot more worried about you. I feel like you're doing fine, so never mind. So what are you gonna do now that you've become free? I'll just hang around here for a while. This place isn't nearly as savage as the Revenge Realm, so I have a feeling things will work out. How about you? You're off on a mission? I could help you out, I really do, but I'm afraid that's easier said than done. No worries, I'm gonna give it my best shot. Awesome, you got this. Alright, I think I'll get going too, bye. That was rather fast. What's wrong? Something wrong? Is something wrong? No, everything's okay. Try to keep up. This mission looks like it's gonna be a real bitch, both coming and going. Oh right, you probably wouldn't know since you were passed out. Our destination's in the mountains, and there's no ropeway or anything to get us there. Ah, I see, that might be a problem. I never was big on rock climbing, but I probably should have been. Probably a little late now. Hey, I was just wondering. Huff, Huff, what is it? Are we gonna have to do this on the way back too? What do you think? Maybe we should take a little break. Darn, if only we had Conjure Elevator. I don't think that's a good idea. Why not? There tends to be a lot of snakes in this area. Snakes, that's no big deal. I can cast a simple... I believe those particular snakes are called Orochi in the Far East. Why are you only mentioning this now? Ah, but this is... We need sabers. And time for a favorite of mine, Jason. The Chadson. Okay, that was dumb. Yeah, to quote Hades, the Greek heroes and gods are all popular not because they're gods, but because they are human.
もちろん。おいおいおい。
Might as well use up his here. Oh yeah, Jason's actually doing some okay damage. Not bad. Wow, they really hate Jason. I suppose he must have done something to get their ire. And now to just buff literally everything. And we'll just put a buff blocker on this guy in case he tries to do something sneaky. Alright. As you can see, Jason is my obligatory heal bronze servant with maximum investment. I don't have enough coins to 120 him, but I probably will if I want to again. It was a pain in the ass to get one. Not sure if I want to do that when I could get multiple 100s for the same cost. Hard to say. Plus, again, coins. Ah. Yeah, if you've been following some of the stories I've done, he's been around for a while. God. And again, as long as we can take any credit. I helped, I mean, technically. Of course you helped, your aid was invaluable. Yeah, well, that's good. So you're a caster specializing in summoning, huh? Yeah, that's the best way to put it. Wonderful, feels though I've gained a seasoned warrior for an ally. You don't know the half of it. The sheer strength of the Master's summoned shadows often leaves me speechless. Suffice to say, I suggest you expect the unexpected with him. Great, that should make this mission a snap. I was pretty worried when I had 3 casters were assigned. Now looks like I get to take it easy the whole time. Alright, let's get going. We should reach the mission area soon. And I did notice that Zufu was not playable in that mission, so sadly she's probably not going to be implemented for another while. Assassin. Think of Zhu. As a matter of interest, I must inquire. Did you ever succeed in finding the elixir of immortality? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe it doesn't matter either way. Didn't matter. Can you please forget what I just said? On the off chance the Emperor gets summoned, I don't want him coming back to bite me. Then again, maybe it's okay, since I doubt they get summoned in this singularity anyway. They won't, right? Forgive me for interrupting, but we're almost at the Tower of Zanten. It's an observational tower located right between the Revenge and Righteous realms. Of course, the sky hasn't turned red yet, so we're still in the Righteous realm. Red sky, huh? Oh yeah, the sky did literally turn red there. Which is funny, since one of the people there commands the yellow sky instead. Revenge realm dyes the sky red, demarcate its domain, and demonstrates vengeful spirit. It's their way of telling outsiders this is my territory, trespass and die. You know, since land can't actually talk. Mr. Udu. What? Speak so kind to tell us more about the submission tales. I believe we were told to gauge the enemy's strength. That's right, we a small battalion had been stationed here not that long ago, actually. Our objective is to find out what kind of servants are in it. Of course, depending on the situation, we may need to eliminate them. How small is small in this case? 12 or so. They do outnumber us quite a bit. But we should be able to handle them, as I'm told they're no more than Phantom Spirit level. So now we have to decide what our first move will be. Tower, huh? Wow, what an ominous looking tower. Actually, almost reminds me of the Ferrociris Lighthouse. Final Fantasy XIV. Never seen a tower like that before. Same here, it's a little big for a lookout tower. Fascinating. I'm actually with Sherlock on that. Did you figure something out? Not from the exterior alone, no. We'll have to make a walk inside first. Oh, shh. See, they have patrols out. I was saying lookout standing watch, but they have to have a few at least somewhere. You can safely assume there are assassins about hiding themselves present concealment. Probably 2, no 3 of them. If I were in charge of where they're stationed, I post one either side of the doors and another behind the first 2. Try drawing them out of hiding. Now that you've narrowed down the field of possibilities, I should be able to make effective use of Taoist art. Oh, no, is it pronounced Taoist art? I can never remember that one, even after I keep getting told. Also put up a soundproofing bounded field while I'm at it. If we're lucky, we'll be able to make it to the tower without anyone noticing. Amazing, we're lucky to have you with us, Lady Zufu. As long as you appreciate it. Okay, is everyone ready? Ready. Indeed. All set. Good. Motions, forbidden, spirit enlightened, body pacified, then add a dash of tongue twist, silencing. Wow, enemies? But I can't move. Enemy attack, enemy. They can't hear me either. I'm Dermot of the Knights of Fiona. How about you? Stay anonymous, it's all the same to you. Charles the Great's commandos charge. Actually tell them who you are? At least get your story straight. Alright, let's take care of them then, shall we? Hey, it's technically a stealth mission if no one's alive to say you were there. And we're most definitely bringing Daikoku-ten. Sadly, I wasn't able to get MP5. I could have kept going, but let's just say my luck was pretty less than ideal on that banner. And I didn't want to push it, especially since I didn't care too much about... Well, I didn't care too much about Super Paul Bunyan, but as you saw, they came anyway, so... No big deal. 5-star single target alter ego. 5-star single target alter ego. No point in getting all worried about it. I definitely need to save these for late. I definitely need to wait until Scotty's in here, so... Because I want Daikoku-ten to nuke the hell out of him. A 4-star at MP4 or 5 actually outdamages an NP1 5-star, so... A Grailed high NP 4-star can absolutely carry you in this game really well. Why not? I don't think the enemy's gonna live for this turn, but let's do this anyway. And we'll do a quick chain to maximize our star counts. Yeah, units like this are why I want Summer Scotty to complete my Scotty collection. My quicks are gonna be in absolutely great shape if I can get both Scotties. I mean, people won't shut up about how supposedly Summer Scotty power creeps are base form, but thing is, pretty much every challenge quest these days disallows you using duplicate servants specifically so that you cannot cheese it. One turn, right. Whatever. So having 2 Scotties without means that you don't run into the problem that, say, Arts has, where you want 2 Pistorias, but you can only get 1. And Tammo no Mai is great for boosting an Arts unit's damage, but less so for boosting it. And let's do it, yeah, let's do it this way. At Tammo no Mai I do have, and she is great for boosting damage, but not so much for assisting Loop since her battery is in her NP. And sadly, the game doesn't let you use a support NP if you just cleaned a wave with the first one. So it's a bit tricky. I do use her for boss fights though, as you probably have seen me do if you watch my Lostbelt 6 playthrough. I think I did in Heian-kyo, and I streamed that one too. Looks like Surf Mo's coming up next unless... Yeah, she's probably gonna... Surf Mo's gonna remain my main rider for a while. The only one that might... Damn it. The only one that I might end up using more is Summer Suzuka, and that's depending on how much she comes, but... was home during that event next year. Like I said, I'm saving up to try and max out Summer Castoria, because I swear that, and... Let's just say that NP, using that as our NP is emotional blackmail, I swear. See any reinforcements coming? Looks like we're still in the clear. I don't sense anyone on the other side of those doors either, so let's go ahead and go on in. Sounds good to me. First glance, doesn't appear to be much of note here. Let's see what's on those documents. What do they say? They appear to be plans for this tower. Anything significant? Zufu? Huh? I suspect this tower may be directly connected to a ley line. Would it be possible to confirm that? Might be able to tell from the basement. Would you be so kind then? I want to go down by myself? No, thank you. Fair point. Go with her, master. Got it. I'll come too. It could be dangerous with only 2 casters. Where are you gonna go, Holmes? Top of the tower, of course. Let's head down and see what we find. Come on. Alright, looks like this is gonna be a major pain in the ass, though. Yeah, Sherlock is good at self-defense, so he can defend himself just fine. It's just when he has to protect others it might be troublesome, as shown in Lostbelt 2 when he couldn't fight Surtur properly. Any luck? So this was here. They do this. Alright, let's just ask them. Them? Who? This caster's working over there. I'll leave them to you. I can't move. Good luck. And you might want to hurry, since our casters will probably figure out how to break that spell rather quickly. Next time give us a little more warning, maybe. Surf Mo was one of my earliest units, since Summer 1 rerun was pretty close to the time I started the game. Sadly not the original banner, but close to it. And she has been my main rider pretty much ever since. Never let me down. The only thing a little anemic is her raw damage, which is why I eventually felt, you know, she's earned being grailed to at least 90. And as I said, the only flaw is her damage is a little weak, even though I have her at MP3. I could probably get some more later, but it's a bit tricky since Summer Servants have erotic rate-ups. And I also, well, shown by, strength up. And as shown by Super Bunyan, sometimes a unit 4 stars on rate up with a unit you don't really want or care for.
負けないぞ。そら来い。吹き飛べ。
Perhaps I should have grabbed a single target rider instead. They're classified as servants, but they don't seem to have passives, from what I can tell. Or at least I haven't noticed anyone who's not a named character randomly resist a spell. Alright. Surf Mo, do your thing. Surf Mo is one of the few units who is specifically, in the early game, was designed for looping, which is a big deal because units like Vlad had reduced charge. Yeah, units like Vlad and Kiritsugu had their NP gain ridiculously nerfed, specifically to prevent them from looping. Alright, I get a good attack buff, so let's add the Spiritron boost here, the Arts boost from my Mystic Code. And we'll add Castoria's NP just to boost the damage further. That should be enough to take out what HP remains. There we go. So that's how they... I'm afraid we killed them all. Is that gonna be a problem? No, fine. Ask is more of a figure of speech there. I can basically tell what they're doing from their actions, their gait, and the spells they've behind. That's what I meant by ask. Ah, I knew it. It's designed for sucking up magical energy straight from the ley line and sending it to the top of the tower. It's not active, though. Maybe they're about to test it. How much magical energy do you think they were planning to gather? A little less than you need to form a holy grail, I suppose. That's quite a lot. They must have been planning to perform a very special summoning here. Mister, pass Sufu's analysis to Holmes, and he says you might want to come to the top of the tower right away. Alright, Sherlock says to come to the top. My apologies for calling you on such short notice. I see you got into a bit of a scrap of your own. Ran into a little resistance too, but Holmes took care of it in no time. As for you guys, I hope Dearwood would have... I guess Dearwood must have played a pretty big part. It was nothing. I was fortunate enough to have Lady Zufu's protections and the Lordmaster's summons. It was a group effort and a very successful one. How dare you... How are you this nice and handsome? You pretty people have to do everything. It kind of pissed me off. Look of genuine confusion. Discovery from Miss Firelight. Are you certain? Pretty certain, yes. See, then we can breathe a sigh of relief for the time being. Sucking up magical energy from a line directly sounds quite ominous. Agreed, it would seem that I was correct. Which is why I want to take a look at the top of this tower as soon as possible. See for yourselves, you two. Except for partially constructed sand, there's nothing here. I suspect this tower is intended to be a means of direct attack on the righteous realm. Their plan was most likely to convert the energy from a ley line to pure physical force, of powerful projectile. Which means this is meant to be an artillery battery. Once again, as you can see from yourselves, there's nothing here. Not yet. I suspect they simply haven't been able to build a cannon large or durable enough to fire such enormous massive energy. Well, that's comforting. For the time being, I suggest we investigate any servants of the Revenge Realm who had a hand in this tower. If we can keep them in check, that will naturally prevent them from completing the cannon meant for this tower. Should we be found out, our backup plan could simply destroy the tower. Servants who are on patrol should be coming back any moment now. Let's hurry and get back out of here. They're definitely going to ask questions when they find that everyone who's supposed to be here isn't, though. Berserker, huh? The nice thing about Berserker bosses is you can use anyone you want. It's nice having the freedom of choice when basically all your servants are equal. Well, good options. Well, I guess technically Berserkers quote-unquote resist other Berserkers. They take only 1.5 times damage instead of 2 times damage like they do from everything else, but you get what I mean. Explore the mission to secure an abandoned stronghold. This will also be within Righteous Realm territory. It takes about a day to get there on foot, so we're gonna borrow a horse-drawn carriage from a nearby safe house to take that most of the way. I love not having to walk. Safe house. Do you have one in every region? Yeah, we do. Secretary ordered us to build them. We have 4 of the Righteous Realm, 2 in Revenge, and 2 in Reinstatement. They're all hidden very well, and none have been discovered by the enemy yet. See, seems like you've done a good job covering your tracks. They certainly have a great deal more than I'd have thought, though. Perhaps they're meant for some other purpose. Come, let's get our way then. We can use the key the Secretary gave us to get inside. It needs a key? Yeah. Safe houses are fitted with spells to blow the whole thing up if someone tries to enter without the right key. Better safe than splattered, I suppose. See, that does make sense. Key or not, most any servant could break into anywhere if they wished. But if you rig a place to explode, you eliminate the risk of enemy getting crucial information. What about stealth entry via spirit form? I'm told each individual room has a bounded field. They're set to explode if they detect spirit forms too. Haha, well done. As servants, they get a lot of perks. This way. Really, I don't see any buildings out here. It's here, beneath that broken down wagon over there. Oh, this is amazing. Wait, there's a horse here? We obviously couldn't keep a living horse in a stable we obviously can't keep a living horse here on standby indefinitely, so I think it's some kind of golem. Oh, right. The things that Kabbalist Caster's always making. The Revenge Realm uses demonic beasts to pull the carriages. Hope I get a chance to ride one of those too at some point. Spare weapons here. Mind if I take one? They're more for decoration than defense, as they're only meant to be used in emergency. But if you're alright with that, by all means. Besides, no one else is gonna do so. That tracks. Oh, you got protected mystic codes too. I wouldn't suppose. I'm thinking, oh, never mind. How come? Because I don't want my caller reacting to it and going off. Oh, right. They got Western wine, but no Shaoxing wine here. And no beer. Damn. Oh well, once we're done with the mission, I'll just put in a request with the secretary. Alright, better get going. I'll be the coachman, the rest of you can sit back and enjoy the ride. Sounds good to me. Be warned, I'll be driving pretty fast, so make it bumpy. Don't worry, we once crossed the entire United States on foot in just a week. Because the devs have absolutely no idea about how large the United States actually is. Here, come on, walk the rest of the way on foot. You come down from the carriage now. You sick? Same. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was going so fast. A good thing I turned to my spirit form. I don't want to think what would have happened if I hadn't. Surprised you guys didn't do the same. You're really cautious sorts, aren't you? Sorry to ask, but don't you have any meds for motion sickness? Yeah, I do. Here. Thanks. Hey, for once the player can the prepared one. Feel sick myself watching the monitor. Okay, now that we're all settled in. There's a stronghold up ahead that the Revenge Realm meant to use as a bridgehead for invading the Righteous Realm. Luckily, the Righteous Realm just barely managed to eke out a win, forcing the servants to retreat from this region. Fortunately, we suffered a lot of casualties in the process, so we couldn't claim the fort itself. We can't abandon out here, but we also don't do anything that'll draw attention to ourselves, so we decided just about start storing supplies here in secret to make sure we let it look abandoned, even as we bolster its defenses. But since it's abandoned, demonic beasts have taken up residence, so the first thing we need to do is destroy them. Once we're done with that, the supply crews will come in stock, so we can concentrate on ridding the demonic beasts. Alright, let's take care of the beasts now. By the way, there aren't any demonic boars among them, are there? Can't get into there, aren't. Why, got something against them, Diarmid? Oh, well, one killed me, so... Hey, you, rest in peace. He's not dead yet, though. Actually, I was already. How's that funny to him? Put a bounded field around the stronghold to make sure no demonic beasts escape. From there, I'll figure something out. I'm not hearing a lot of planning in this plan. Yeah, this is your life now, Kadok. A bunch of quirks and a very specific historical character traits change to be the entire personality of that person. Oh, here goes nothing. Alright, let us begin. Of course, the demon boar. Well, time for this night to be to hasty retreat. Already? Apologies, a bad joke. I am conceptually weak to demon boars, however. Then we'll handle them. Alright, thank you, everyone. Let's bring Lakshmi by. She doesn't get brought out too often. Yeah, she's definitely one of the historical figures that I didn't think would be showing up in this game. She only really has story relevance. I get the sense they're intended for her to become one of the Jean sisters and be a recurring character since she even has a gimmick and all that like they do, but I guess that didn't end up happening. Alright, I took care of all those pretty easily. Lakshmi Bai is pretty clearly intended for multiple attackers rather than just being your sole attacker. So she's not that great at farming, and her well, Her damage is really low, and her ability to, because she basically came out at the time that Scotty here was the main meta unit, so they made her basically nerfed her to compensate the fact she'd be used with Scotty, which unfortunately means now that the time of Scotty has ended, well, as the main meta, she's still obviously relevant. But this does mean, however, that Lakshmi Bai is in a pretty crappy position, and I highly doubt they're going to bother buffing her because she's not popular for blunt. It is very, very rare they give... Honestly, it's rare they give 5 stars that are unpopular buff to save them, like Sigurd is famous for getting buffs for stuff that doesn't save him, and 4 stars are in even worse positions, so I'm not holding out hope that they'll buff her. I mean, might get a nice NP damage buff just to acknowledge she exists, since most get those kind of interludes, but that's the hostiles, no other readings detected. Great job, Master. Well, all done. Thank you for fighting those boars in my stead. I truly appreciate it. What about the stronghold? Oh, we're fine here. Luckily, the supply crew just arrived. Here you go. Thank you. Sign this, and you can officially take over. Done. Alright, well, you guys handle it from here. Understood. I'm glad we're taking our time on the ride back. More importantly, this will bring our first mission to a successful conclusion. Feels like a pretty roundabout way to accomplish our goal. I guess this is what we have to do in a weird singularity like this. Looks like we're in it for the long haul, yeah. Indeed, although in that case, there's one person I'm concerned about leaving in the current state. His current state, you mean Count Vlad? Precisely. According to what I've heard from Chaldea, both his spirit origin and contract remain intact. I suspect he's right where we left him. We should at least collect his body and bring her somewhere safer. Why don't we talk to Charles the Great about it? Great idea. It would be prudent to ask his assistance. We're almost the safe house. From here, hoofing it again. Almost in unison, the two mages let out a sigh of bone-deep weariness. Don Quixote de la Mancha's departure. I certainly hope that's departure in a traveling sense and not in a death sense, because we're already had some pretty nicely heavy casualties. Salome was handled really impressively well for only really being around a short time. Alright, let me grab a sip of my drink before I go in again. This music. That concludes my report, sir. Ah, we're meeting with Byleth again. Sir, find out whether there are any such other tower is near the Righteous Realm. The capital is too well protected to infiltrate, but yes, we can still survey the periphery. Do so at once. I'm very curious to know more. Caster, can you investigate the tower more thoroughly? You can have more personnel if you need them. It will be done. There's something more important in this tower. At the moment, all 3 realms are more or less evenly matched. The Revenge Realm consistently goes on the offensive, our reinstatement fends them off, and Righteous watches to the sidelines, keeping both in check. Now, both I and my military advisors believe the realm is about to undertake a large-scale invasion soon. If they're going to succeed, they need some way of ensuring their victory. They can't take their time to wage war because the Righteous Realm is bound to interfere. Which brings us to the tower. It only makes sense to assume there's something more to it. Then, if it turns out to be there are other such towers, Investigating one is enough. Found out about any other such towers, feel free to destroy them. Understood. Alright, that concludes today's War Council. Pope Joanna will return before the memorial for those we've lost. While I regrettably won't have time to do so myself, I urge those who have the time to attend. Of course, my liege. Thank you. May everyone we lost rest in peace. This is it for today's prayer. Thank you all for coming. On Bradamante, let us go. Yes, Your Holiness, I'd be honored to accompany you. Interesting, one of the paladins not siding with Charles. I like the service today. For any particular reason? I just made it feel like there weren't too many casualties. That is true. But as no lives are more valuable than others, neither are fewer lives more acceptable than many. Yes, Your Holiness, I'm sorry, Your Holiness. Die is a sad thing, though they may be a cold comfort from me, since they're dying on my behalf. You're right, that is a sad thing, but it doesn't mean we regret our choices. We're proud to die if it helps a rebellion against proper human history, strange as that may sound. Are you certain of that? About what? Until Charles the Great leads the righteous realm. Was he not your king when you were alive? Yes, he was, but I made my choice to support reinstatement over righteous realm. I really feel like yours has the right cause, Your Majesty. Of course, I know some servants here still mistrust me because of my past associations. Alright, I believe you speak with conviction. Thank you, Your Holiness. Say, would you like to have a meal with me? That's right. I know servants don't need to eat, of course, but a good meal does wonders to lift morale, so I've been asking His Imperial Majesty to have servants that feel at home in the kitchen start making them. See, if you don't feel hunger, I'm sure you'd still like good food, right? Oh yes, of course I do. May I ask which kind of cuisine it is? Now that I don't know, but I've never heard anyone complain, so I'm sure it's fine. Now come on, let us go eat. Okay then, let's go eat. The shame about Salome, it hurts to lose her. I would say I was surprised that she never did cut off the Chaldean's head, but I always thought it was only a matter of time until she did something like that. Didn't you feel the same? I did, but she still chose a very inconvenient time to go rogue. Yes, that is true, but still nothing compared to you-know-what. While looking at the bright side of this turn of events, Chaldea has drawn the gaze of the reinstatement realm. Even if they know about the towers now, they still have no way of determining their true purpose. That still leaves the final adjustments, though. We still cannot use him as a proper servant, correct? I'm afraid his social withdrawal protections are just too strong. Maybe there's some kind of error in his summoning, or maybe that's just how he's always been. Hardly matters. If anything, this works to our advantage. Indeed, indeed. Although, why the sudden change of heart? We know now that Chaldea is here, correct? And we know that they've taken shelter in the righteous realm. Now that all players are here, the only thing left to do with this war is to win and put an end to it. Sir is saying we're headed towards total annihilation. Fine with me. It doesn't matter if you or I meet our ends here. This is what I mean to rebel against what it means to rebel against proper human history. Am I wrong? Oh, you certainly aren't. But are you truly sure about this, my queen? About what? The way I see it, if we keep going down this route, your true wish will never be granted, will it? If anyone else had been in the room at this time, they have been certain their lives were forfeit. Such the sheer, all-consuming power of the bloodlust permeating this entire place. Say that again, and I shall kill you. Oh, my apologies. I certainly don't need any more bloodlust directed at me. An old man like myself can only take so much. Alright, I'm off to work on the final adjustments. I'm afraid I may not be able to speak to you again for a while. Oh, really? That's the best news I've heard all day. Ah, you wound me, my queen. My wish, Of course I have a wish. My husband, someone's hero, a deceitful man. I wish I could have shown him how this is all on his shoulders. Woman, child, elder, his closest friend, a complete stranger. I didn't care who. All I wanted was to throw someone's intestines in his stupid face. I wanted to ruin everything he protected, everything he cared for, everything he had that left no room for me. If he saved 100 lives, I'll take 1,000. Though, of course, that would never be enough to hurt him. Not while his heart was so hard and radiant as a diamond, his magnet as boundless and deep as the sea. From my perspective, he was just another rude and sensitive man. I suppose that's what happened when you try to see the good in someone. I wanted to see him one last time, tell him that everything he did was for naught, but that was unlikely to ever come true. If he were summoned here, regardless of realm, he would most likely rebel against proper human history. Even if he were to join the reinstatement of righteous realm, he'd ultimately be on the same side as me. Oh, I don't want that. Not at all. I want to oppose him. He must be my enemy before I kill him. So Chaldea's arrival got my hopes up, but ultimately I'm told that his group did not bring him with them. So now my only hope is the slim chance that he may be summoned to fight on proper human history's side. And this is just another transient dream, so I'll just have to stick to the plan and do what I must. I have to say, though, I'm really not the type to fight hard for a master. This prayer had weight. This wish had a sincere ring to it. Yes, it was sincere and powerful enough that I didn't think twice about aiding the rebellion against human history. Even though we didn't understand what sort of master I'm working for, the righteousness of the wish is what drives us. Good day, Queen of Revenge. What are you doing here? I'm here to deliver some encouragement, nothing more, nothing less. My goal is to see one of the realms obtain all three holy grails. I don't care which one it is, so I just want to give it all your best effort. One thing I want to ask you, and what's that? Is that what the Master wants as well? Ooh, that's a difficult question. This is our responsibility coming to bear. There's a reason all of you are fighting and destroying one another. There's one being here who must not win, but that's of no concern to you. Let's see. Would you like to know who it is? No need. I just couldn't think of anything else to say to an intruder who appeared unbidden in my stronghold. Your answer does not matter to me. It seems I'm not very welcome here, is it? You have any information on either righteous or reinstatement realm for me? I'm afraid sharing such things wouldn't be fair. Then you are, if possible, even more useless. If you insist on following me around any further, I'll see to it the three realms know for a stalker. Well, I would prefer to avoid that. Still, are you sure this isn't a question you want to ask me? Say the absence of a certain servant? Can't bring yourself to ask about him? Oh, pity. Very well, I should take my leave. Very well, good for nothing. If he just wants to toy with his pieces, then he's no more than an idiot. If he wants to maneuver himself around the board, he's no more than a participant. So he's chosen to come down on the board, even though he's qualified to run the whole game. In one sense, I suppose there's a certain kind of integrity to that. But in another, it makes me think he's the most dim-witted mathematician to ever exist. Yeah, she knew that he was trying to goad something out of her, and she just straight up didn't want to play his game. In a way, the fact that a berserker is so straightforward might allow to see something like that, but on the other... See, so you want to save your companion, Vlad III. Oh, Count Vlad, the great hero of Romania. Don't forget that he's also known as Vlad the Impaler. Maybe he can be reasoned with. You'll be fine as long as you don't call him a vampire. His moves still remind me a hell of a lot of the Dead Apostles, though. Yeah, because he wasn't summoned in Romania, that's why he's a berserker in this game instead of a lancer like he was in a Fate Apocrypha. He was summoned in Romania proper there, so he was able to get his home field advantage as well as remain at full power, as well as keep his sanity. But because he's summoned outside of Romania with Chaldea, because you know that takes place in Antarctica, he is technically already has his Legend of Dracula ability active, so he has the Vampire Madness Enhancement effect. Sir, you can't trade places now. They'd notice the difference in your auras immediately. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, I guess Vlad has a much more imposing aura and such to pretend to be Charles the Great. At any rate, we certainly can't leave him like that. Fact is, the Righteous Realm needs all the strength it can get right now, all the more so with wisdom and intelligence. See, so you require someone with a great deal of military expertise. We do. Educated in many fields. So far, I've been able to keep us locked in a stalemate, but I can take us no further. I cannot see a path to victory for us. So then, the best course of action is to save Vlad, and if possible, to treat him. Would you mind letting us handle this? Oh, so what you're saying is... Did you have a noble phantasm or healing one strong enough to return him to fighting form? Am I correct? I can't promise to work flawlessly. To be honest, it's gonna be a gamble. A gamble? You know gambling is bad, Sancho. I have to agree. There are many number of mages who've ruined themselves taking major risks like that. Really, there are? Oh, right. I suppose you couldn't know since you grew up sheltered in Chaldea. As a rule, my girl, mages are arrogant creatures who will think they can bend all creation to will. Yeah, one thing this franchise is always gonna hammer into your head is that mages are assholes. The worst part is you're gonna force to side with them a lot just because of the circumstances. Majority think that way. It gets worse the more talented they are. See, I suppose it makes sense that magecraft can do what would otherwise be impossible. And since they think there's nothing they can't do, they get carried away and think they'll come out ahead anytime they take a chance. The magecraft lets them see others cheating and helps them notice patterns and trends. So they figure they can use that advantage to cheat and win about everything. Basically, there's no scenario in which I don't come up on top. That tends to lead how they start thinking. Oh, but it's called a gamble for a reason, right? Oh, that is right. In a fair and impartial game of chance, the mage has the same chances of winning as they do losing. And yes, that's about means half mages win such gambles. What about when a mage wins big? What do you think they'll do next? At the farm? Exactly. Strangely enough, they believe they've already won the next round as well. Really know what you're talking about here, Chubbs. Makes sense. You gambled and lost. Oh no, I didn't. I absolutely won. That's why I'm still alive, even under these circumstances. Fofo. I was saying, way to look on the bright side. Haha, thank you, Furball. Right laughter. Returning to the point after your leader, that is your leader, right? Anyways, as diverting as remarks are, I'm afraid they've also gotten us sidetracked. I didn't know he had such strong opinions on gambling. How very strange that he would want to discourage someone from gambling in a gacha game. See, so he gambled everything he had and lost. That's poor man. At any rate, yes, this will be a gamble. There are a 30% chance of working as we hope, and a 50% chance it'll fail and have no effect, and a 20 it'll go disastrously wrong and damage the spirit origin. What do you say, Master? The choice is yours. Are you willing to risk it? We don't have a choice. I am, because this is a gambling game, and they need to push for it. Sure about this? I mean, I know Vlad can't make the call himself right now, but it's what I'd want if I were him, that's for sure. See. Honestly, hats off to you. I really mean that. Alright, sir. You're not listening. We're heading out. Out? Yes, out. We're going to destroy the restraints Vlad placed on himself by using our noble phantasm. Oh, you mean Valiente Asalo de la Prisca? No, not that one. Oh. There's no way our weak noble phantasm could destroy those stakes. Then, do I really have to go? That, sir, yes, is a secret. Sancho! And she's got a real impish side to her, doesn't she? Are you alright, Kadok? Do you have a headache? Oh, no, I'm fine. Ugh. I hate myself sometimes, damn it. Kodak, stop wasting your mental energy on things you can't change already. I'm pretty sure he's still concerned about who to trust, but I like to think he's actually just thinking, I'm really stuck with these idiots, aren't I? Gotta stay cool, calm, collected. Just think about what you can actually do. That's the best possible thing for yourself right now. That side, Holmes isn't any different, is he? I was doing a good job acting normal and not looking at him if I had to. It's no use. You gotta save the thinking before he's not around like usual. The risks are just too great. I shouldn't even think about trying to figure things out. The detective might be... Yeah, cold. Paddock. Sorry, I suddenly got chills. Felt like someone's pouring ice down my back. Ice, you say? Gaster's curse or something? I don't know. Yeah, wow. Lord Kadok. Okay? You ate something funny? You know, when I was still alive, once I ate a lizard and told everyone it was dragon meat. Oh yes, that was a good one. A shame it didn't make it into the story. I guess Cervantes didn't want to include any weird food stories. No, it's not that. I'm good with food. Just let it go, okay? It's nothing, fine. Perhaps you better leave well enough alone, then. I wouldn't want our teasing to come back to bite us. Now then, Master, I take it you've made up your mind. Yes. Then we should leave right away. But what will you do about your throne? We can't exactly declare Charles the Great's going on an expedition to leave the castle undefended. I'll take over while you're gone. We'll be fine. I mean, it's not like I'm worried, but Roland will probably do a better job than me, at least. There's some lovely improvising... There's something lovely about improvising when you're low on personnel. Feels like we're sticking a finger in a dike here. I'm assuming, basically, a stopgap. Well, it is a stopgap measure. It's not meant to last. Sneak. Okay, we made it out. I gotta say, I don't love how easy it was to get past our own realm security. Getting nervous about this too. Are you sure no one else knows the truth? Don't worry, and if they do find out, we'll just have to end the Shroud. How very stout-hearted of you. Oh, believe me, it takes the stoutest of hearts to accompany my sir on adventures. Can't have the great story of Don Quixote without Don Quixote and, of course, the trusty Sancho. Okay, then, let's get going, sir. I'm exhausted. Are you okay? You want some water? Yes, sir. Have some fruit infused water. Thank you, Sancho. Sorry to interrupt your breath, but I'm detecting hostiles. You hear that, sir? We have enemies here. Ooh, enemies, huh? Good thing that water put me right as rain. Okay, Master Caldea, time for you to see how I became the legendary Quixote. Come, Sancho. Yes, sir. Let's give this a good go then, shall we? Is it gonna be a solo mission? Oh, how convenient. What kind of NP does he have? It's a quick, so Scotty. Yes, yes, I swear I'll fix the, I promise I'll fix my ACE stuff later. I probably won't anytime soon, but I will eventually. I always do eventually. Keyword eventually for a reason. Do I have any other Lancers? Yeah, Tamonomae, Summer. Luckily, she's way, way better after her buff, which is really nice but I hope she gets an NP boost at some point. It's just a shame that Summer Servants almost never get updates. It's happened, but it's so rare that the default assumption is they won't get one, and if they do, nice. You know what, let's bring Kagatora. Oh. Oh, I've already passed my account limit. Well, whatever. I'm sure this won't end badly. Actually, I'm pretty sure I'll never see the backline servants, so those are basically just to get a bond now. Yeah, summer servants are nice, but especially since they do try to make an effort to make it clear it's a servant at a different point in their life. Outsiders show them what we can do. Single giant enemy. Alright, they'll take care of this one pretty easily. Alright, so this goes. How's your MP look, buddy? Decent support. Yeah, he's 4-star. Victory is ours! Well, now I'm generally surprised how strong you've proven yourself to be. Hey, depending on who you ask, Don Quixote is more famous than King Arthur. True, but that alone can't explain his strength. The story of Don Quixote is replete with tales of his exploits, but each of those focuses on very human limitations. For example, when he charged at windmills he believed to be giants, both he and Thought I found this all sent flying for their troubles. Hey now, I won some of the time. My apologies, let us say you did indeed win some and lose some. Regardless, the story never once makes him surpassing human limits. So then, does that mean strength from being king of a realm, maybe? That's exactly it, yes. You might be thinking that long last, my sir's true power as a knight has been awakened. But no, he's just enjoying the benefits that come from being a king. More specifically, the Holy Grail support. That's one hell of a benefits package. Man, this is a lot stronger than I was expecting. Guess this means other realms' kings must be damn strong too, especially with the Grail backing them up. Fair indeed. This power can transform an ordinary soldier to a warrior being sent to Valhalla, or a true warrior into a hero. So if an existing hero obtains this power, there's no telling what might happen. The other realms' kings are Hermeld and Constantine. Hermeld's legendary for her vengeful nature. We could assume her combat prowess is unrivaled. Constantine is famous for protecting his city from prolonged siege, while outmatched and outnumbered. He'll make for a formidable opponent as well. And I'm an old farmer from the sticks who's dangerously close to the age of retirement. And a seasoned knight errant. Can we at least agree on that? Of course, sir. I do think it's wonderful you never stop dreaming. Right? Wait, does this mean this is a dream after all? No, sir. This is all very real. We'll be there soon. Are you sure you can do this? Can do this? Sir, you can. He says I can. Well, they say they can. I heard. You don't have to tell me again. I just love how God has these surrounded by idiots feeling. I don't have to tell him again. Are you sure we can count on this guy, Holmes? Oh, yes. Tell me, forgive me, how should I address you? This is fine, Lord. Very well, Miss Sancho. This noble phantasm meant for support? It is. Don Quixote that can neutralize the current condition. I take it this is one of those things better left unsaid. English gentlemen understand. Of course, it won't stay secret very long, though. I figured Sherlock would be able to figure it out. Interstice Town. That's Berserkers. Let's stick to Lakshmi Bai. I don't get to use her that often, and I really should use her more. I should be using Suzuka more too, but I only have her at NP1, while even here she's at least NP2. There he stood, as though he impaled himself. Caked in blood and buffeted by the wind, he looked like nothing so much as a rotting corpse. But he's still alive. Maybe I should have gone with someone's single target. Both the reinstatement or revenge realms used to do battle here, right? How come neither of them had taken him? Closer look. What's the rock for? The moment he detects something moving nearby, he activates his noble phantasm automatically. He must have programmed, for want of a better word, his mind when he stakes himself. Damn, he really is a monster. Hey, now that's uncalled for. I don't mean it like that. Man can't even begin to imagine the strength of his mind. Remember how powerless we were in that chaotic mess? I'm pretty sure we couldn't think of anything except running away. Same goes well. While I do think I would have come up with the same idea to steal myself away, I'm not nearly so experienced in battle that I could also plan ahead as to include a means of self-defense. So we have to do something to shut that system down or we won't be able to help him. Then I suppose we'll just have to keep him occupied in combat. In the meantime, I'd like you to use your noble phantasm on Master Signal. Can you do that, Master? Definitely. Watch out. You're ridiculous to make this far only have your own servant kill you. Alright. Let us help Count Vlad settle down. I'm not gonna bother with a ley line here. I don't know why I didn't realize this would be the Berserker fight. That's fine. I'll switch Lakshmi Bai for someone that I genuinely don't care. I am not someone who goes hard on lotteries. I can afford to waste a few of these. Now, who's someone yeah, Kagatora. There's also someone I need to be using more of. So we just have to activate Guts 3 times and it's over. The only thing I don't really like about Kagatora is her arts buff, and her biggest buffs are only for 1 turn. Which is funny, since she's a single target who's clearly good at spamming her NP.
死なんと戦えば生き、生きんと戦えば死す。要するに考えてもしょうがないということ。運は天にあり。手柄は足にあり。
That.
押して
Alright, we'll go with the full arts brave chain here. If you're wondering if I'm gonna be pulling for her alt later, probably not if we're completely honest. I mean, I probably could, but... Auto Impaler, target focus. Ah. Alright, we'll just, yeah, we'll get Castoria's NP up as well. Overkill, and that's gonna charge her NP up again. That was a good idea on my part. And excellent, that buff was cleared, which means we're gonna have a bit of an easier time now. Alright, yeah, with the targeting debuff down, I can probably have an easier time here. Yeah, the flaw of getting all of Kagatora's cards on the first turn is I don't have any more for 3 turns until they reset. Well, that's a little bad. We might be in a bit of trouble here. This is an NP spam, right? Okay, yeah.
それはいつか来る兆しの星。誰に呼ばれるまでもなく、あなたは星をかざすでしょう。アラウンドスカイバーン。ここでまっすぐ。ここまでやれば。もちろんもちろん。ここでまっすぐ。
治療法が決まった。
負けないぞ。
冥府の神よ、
I guess we're now playing stall team.
セレクションフロート
I really should have used my defense booster, my invincibility thing against on
あれはいつか見た終わりの星。
Kagatora, but I
どれ
was
ほ
a
ど遠
dum
く
dum.
汚れても私は星を探すのです。さあ幕を開けてアラウンドカリバーン。ここでまっすぐ。白星で行きます。運命ですから。
ただ
もちろん
直進だ。
あれはいつか見た終わりの星。どれほど遠く汚れても
Alright, at least whoever this
私
hits,
は星を
it'll
探すの
prevent
で
his
す。
NP from going off on
幕を開けて
them.
アラウンドカリバーン。
Everyone now has invincibility, so when his turn rolls around, his NP will... If he uses his NP, it'll not be good. Ah, interesting. Because of his state, they've made it so that he doesn't give his voice lines. I like little touches like that.
Shadow 望まれもちろん負けないぞ。それはいつか来る兆しの星。
This is taking way longer than it should because I was dumb by letting Kagatora die. Then again, I didn't know the gimmick.
アラウンドカリバーン。ここでまっすぐ。なんだ覚悟しろ。眠いな。もう
This cannot possibly end badly for anyone.
目前だな。このおい
やります
おい。
Lucky crits. Sadly, Jason is a bronze servant, so even if he's hit proper... So in the general sense, he's just gonna get smacked around. No, not get smacked. He just basically isn't very good at damage. Even Grailed 100 like this, his damage isn't great. Although, for the record, level 100, NP5, he does in fact outdamage an NP1 Ramasa. In fact, he actually outdamages NP2 or Ramasa if he has his interlude, which I don't remember if he has or not.
治療法が決まった。おいおいおい。真の蘇生薬とは比べるべきもの。受け取る。リザレクションフロート。
Oh boy.
治りたくないのか。
Yeah, he's probably gonna have no trouble taking out Jason, but there we are.
全く仕方のない。
You know what? Let's do it. Let's beat him with a Slepius for no good reason.
少し痛いぞ。動くな。今度は両方で要領を守れ。
Alright, yeah, we set off the guts 3 times, so we win. Now, if you're wondering why Sherlock is one of the units I wanted to... I basically started the game to get, and why he's not Bond 10, at least... It's because a 5-star party cost is a pain in the rear. Alright, now... Stood. Okay, sir, close your eyes like I told you. Right. Go back, go back, go back. Books and dreams conclude when the cold splash of reality all fades to past like a passing fever. We must abandon our dreams that we might fully live our lives. Activating Noble Phantasm. Return to reality. Still, Lonzano. All magical energy in the vicinity is decaying rapidly. Vlad won't be able to maintain his existence if this keeps up. Correct. This is this noble phantasm power. As suspected, the words she used were return to reality. What she's done here is return Count Vlad to 17th century Spain. No singularity, magecraft, or mysteries. Just peaceful, ordinary Spanish countryside. Land where Don Quixote spent his life. Wait, slow down! Mystics should have been stronger in the 17th century than they are today, not weaker. Both eras are well within the margin of error compared to the Age of Gods, but yes, you may well be right. Remember, Gordolf, those mystics were only measured on a worldwide scale. This noble phantasm is much more limited in scope. Forces a servant to return to a remote part of the world where no magecraft or mystics have ever been observed. This weakens the servant's contract and cuts off magical energy needed to maintain the very being. It even neutralizes skills such as independent action. See, Vlad simply did not exist in 17th century Spain, and of course this also means whatever Moriarty used to brainwash him will fade away like a dream. All that said, I'm afraid this is all we can do. You see, this noble phantasm has one major flaw. It does? You mean the one hinted at before? Yes, if we use it for too long, we disappear ourselves. See, so that's why I feel so at peace right now. And you're okay with that? Cut the hell out! Okay, that's enough. No more phantasm. Abort, abort. Good, none of them vanished, so the noble phantasm's effects are still somewhat present. Then Count Vlad's desire to rebel should be gone now, just as Sancho planned. The state of his combat abilities remains unclear. Count Vlad, are you okay? I never thought I'd see my master ask after my health. I suppose just goes to show how far I let myself go, so to speak. I'm relieved to see you've returned your senses, Count Vlad. What about your inclination to rebel? It has subsided considerably. Seeds are still planted, but they're sufficiently weakened that I can control them. Still, how did you do this? I wasn't expecting to be rescued until after the singularity had been repaired, after all. Well, I admit this is a lot sooner than I expected. I thought he'd be saved at the last minute as our last-minute ace in the hole. I'd love to tell you about it, but we're still in enemy territory. Why don't we vacate the premises first? Good idea. Plus, phew, this whole deal actually got me sweating. All's well that ends well. Sure is. Hang on, you guys realize you almost vanished, right? What if you had? Wouldn't that have brought the righteous realm to the brink collapse? Oh, don't worry about that. That would have been a grand adventure in its own right. Yay for adventure. Sure. Come on, Master, say something. Thank you both so much. That's all, you're quite welcome. Knowing that people like us could help a famous hero like Count Vlad. If that's not a dream come true, nothing is. Alright, the fact that they brought up specifically that if they use it for a long time, it kills them, I'm pretty sure that's gonna become relevant later. They're likely gonna have to use it to sacrifice themselves, which is gonna suck. Alright, let me grab some of my drink again. Ah. Not fate if people aren't making heroic sacrifices on the regular. See. So it won't be possible for me to fight until the singularity is repaired. Afraid of one more piece of disappointing news. That noble phantasm took so much out of us, we won't be able to do anything either. If we charged at the windmill now, we'd be able to knock aside like a blade of grass. Really, Sancho, am I that weak now? I'm afraid so, sir. Try charging Lord Holmes if you don't believe me. Huh? Alright, here I come. Hurrah! Wavering briefly before simply reaching out and stopping him by catching his head. Ha ha! Oh, phew. That's what we call a draw. Master, I want you to pratfall right now. Okay. That's it, well done. This is some sort of ritual for which I'm unfamiliar. Wordlessly popping a headache pill. So you conclude you acquired my wisdom, even at the cost of your powers as king of this realm. Yes, we're simply not capable of taking things beyond this point. It's clear how things would end if either the two kings were to launch a serious assault against us. And so your unwavering willingness to give up the power you're given no such small thing. It's an actor of either great selflessness or great selfishness. I'm sorry, that's no way to speak to my saviors. Not at all. Very well then, let's return so I can see the righteous Rome City for myself. For that, I'll survey your military capability, and no, wait. I almost forgot something important I need to do first. What's that? This. My true name is Vlad the Third. I'm a servant of Chaldea, Berserker class, and now I've returned to where I belong. It's good to have you back, Count Vlad. Thank you, Master. I may not be able to be your spear for the time being, but there are still things I can and must do to help. Sir, that's it. That's exactly how a knight and his lord should behave. I want that. Welcome home, sir. Just not the same. More like that for you, sir. I'll send you to this mountain. Oh, I'm sorry, milady. Okay. Changing. Wait, what's that all about? Dulcina? Oh, she's swapping between the different characters. I suspect that was another of Miss Andra's sides, Princess Dulcina, most likely. One of the reasons Don Quixote sets off his journey in the titular story was to tell people far and wide about the princess's beauty. Embarrassing, but it's true. You at least warn me before you try to perform like that. My poor heart can't take it. Deal with it. I'm the only one concerned about our current situation. It seems to me that losing Vlad as a fighter is a major setback. You're not wrong, but in this case, I don't think that's the whole story. We have a good number of military assets to work with on both ends. Up until now, we lack tactical expertise to make use of them. So if Vlad can make up for that deficiency, then I think we're still some positives gained from this. I guess that's true, but losing combat prowess still hurts. Alright, we'll be taking our leave here. See you back at the throne, so... Bye. Very well then, let us walk around the city. Master Kadok, if you would be so kind as to disguise yourself as servants again, we can be on our way. There's plenty of life here, but not much drive. Morale is fairly decent, and yet on the whole, too relaxed. I see. Since each realm's population is composed entirely of servants, universal conscription is a genuinely viable option. Of course, we wouldn't want everyone to be perpetually mired in despair over the prospect of a long-term war. Or when those who should be helping in the war are no longer able to separate from their daily lives, that's when weariness sets in. Conflict is inevitable. Weariness can and does directly lead to defeat. We were told earlier that the Righteous Realm's army is about to begin a training exercise. Shall we pay them a visit? Ah, yes, please, let's do that. Hey, Master? Yeah, Kadok? Do you think this training exercise is actually gonna help much? I think no, because I don't think servants are capable of being made stronger without an outside force doing it. They also can't exactly lose or gain weight or anything like that, hence why Cleopatra's attempts to make Caesar thin is never going to work. I don't know, but might as well hope for the best, I guess. That's just pure optimism, that's not productive. Swords ready, and slash. Draw, aim, loose. Ah, yeah. See these spear skills? That's why they call me the Gale. Only you call yourself that. Grumble, grumble, why can't I use rapid casting? I know I put my dues in as an alchemist and then some. Wait, don't tell me it's because my tongue's too short, isn't it? Oh, they're going out a lot harder than I was expecting. What do you know? I don't know much about combat training. Looks like they're doing a decent job. This is even worse than I thought. Why is that? I prefer to meet with the king, with Charles the Great, before I say any more. There's no sense in having the same conversation twice. Is it that bad? I'm afraid it is. Let us say, for the sake of argument, the situation was entirely in our favor. Which, I mean, imagine the other two realms have waged all-out war, and that one side succeeded in wiping out the other, but at the cost of the majority of their soldiers. Even in that ideal situation, I can tell you that we still could not win. Not that bad. You two, it seems you already understand the problem. Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, we are technically 2 of the 12 paladins, so we both have a decent amount of real military experience. But isn't that the case for those servants as well? Sure. Some of them used to be heroes in the military or fought in some major battles. Problem is, they're all over the place. There's no unity or teamwork whatsoever. Still lead small teams well enough, but that's about it. Stofo and I couldn't possibly lead a whole army. What's more, Dearman and Zufu are only slightly better than nothing. But I've been told, both Krimilda of the Revenge Realm and Constantine of the Reinstatement have full control of their armies. By comparison, our forces are basically just a motley crew of amateurs. In short, the entire fate of the Righteous Realm rests on whether we can transform this disparate rabble of servants to a unified army. So how exactly do we do that? Since the dawn of recorded history, there's only been one reliable way to turn soldiers into an army. Training. See, I do not mean by what's being now, wherein each servant does whatever they please. They need to be trained to work as a single army and operate as though they are part of a single organism. They cannot do that, we have no hope of victory. So to begin, I would like to inform every servant in the Righteous Realm they are to assemble tomorrow morning for joint training. Alright, we will. We'll put together an initial lineup and adjust over the course. We need to know whether we'd be best served by forming groups composed of all different classes or just of a single class. What sort of units we need, what we like the most. Everything, we must view every detail. Hey, Sancho? Sir, you can't relinquish the throne. How'd you know what I was gonna say? Look, I'm not proud of this job, but even I know I'm not the best choice for the job. Sancho is right. Unfortunately, I currently lack the strength to stand on the front line myself. More importantly, you've already claimed to be Charles the Great. None of the other servants would accept me taking over as your successor. You're Charles the Great now, and there's nothing you can do to change that. Ulp. Escape is no longer an option. Even if the path before you requires scaling a sheer wall, you must find a way to crawl and reach the other side. Whatever you do, you cannot fall. Use whatever lies or bluster you need to hold yourself in place. You are an emperor, you cannot change that. Hey. It's alright, sir, do not worry. If worse comes to worse, I'll figure something out. Miss Sancho sounded fully confident in her ability to make her pledge. Based on his story, that should be enough to send Don Quixote's mind at ease. But judging by the look, he's positively racked with guilt. I expect all of you to attend the training Oswald, that includes you, of course, Master. While you won't be able to summon servants with so many watchful eyes nearby, as long as you don't have them use noble phantasms, you should be able to pass yourself as a caster who calls upon shadow soldiers to fight for you. Got it. Kadok is mage and master. I want you to provide advice. My job will do the best I can. Holmes, you're a great detective. I'm certain you can see things I cannot. Even if you lack military expertise, it'd be great help if you could keep an eye out for them, would you? Of course. There you have it, Master. Glad to have you on the team. What about us? You two have the most difficult task of all. That. Wait and trust that we'll complete our task. You're not to do anything more than that. Really? I'm just supposed to do nothing? You're Charles the Great. You can neither reveal your true identity nor take part in battle. Your job is to have faith in your subordinates. Sir. Master Kadok, I urge you two to get some rest. I shall do the same. Aw man, it's still the middle of the night. Can't sleep? Isn't that a mood? Master, something the matter? I couldn't sleep for whatever reason. Ah, well, elder folks like me are notoriously light sleepers. You're not much too young for that. Sancho! Here, sir, shall I make some cocoa then? I need to know what to do, my wonderful maid. Thank you, sir. Okay, I shall be back shortly. I ended up pretending to be the Emperor anyway. That's a long story. See, one thing led to another, and here we are. That's really all it boils down to. You know, as a servant of proper human history, which immediately puts me at odds with other servants. I suppose you could say it was a stroke of luck. I was just about to say something to them when Sancho clapped a hand over mine and acted like we were on their side. Then, when we learned, with what we learned from we sneaking in the Revenge Realm, I knew things couldn't go as they were. I may have been able to retain my body in that realm, but I would have lost my mind. I'm a coward, you see. And the Reinstatement Realm wasn't any better. Their motives and methods may differ from the Revenge Realm, but they're still rebelling against proper human history. I agonized what we should do, and ultimately I decided to move to an era when neither realm had influence. Next thing I knew, we were surrounded by other servants who felt the same way and ran with us. It was Sancho who came up with the idea of creating a place for these servants on the side of proper human history. Me? All I did was run on a tizzy. I was only useful on the few occasions we had to fight demonic beasts, and I volunteered once we concluded that someone would have to be this realm's ruler. Sounds pretty admirable. Old me. Oh no, it wasn't. It really wasn't. For one thing, I wasn't even summoned to my prime. Both my mind and body are way past by the cell date, if you take my meaning. My story begins and ends with me as an old man. It's the only way I'm known, that's why I look the way I do. I was so nervous when I first pretended to be Charles the Great, I thought I was going to be throw up. You seem a lot different now than you do during the day. Because these lonely nights are the only times I can go back to being of a reasonably sound mind. Grim as that may sound. Here's your cocoa, sir, master. Great, thank you, Sancho. Oh, thank you. Huh. My pleasure. Nice and sweet, just the way I like it. Delicious. Do you like it? Mmm. This hot cocoa is so good it's making me forget I'm a knight. Why, then I better take it away right now. Oh, please don't. This is one of the few pleasures I have at my age. Joking. Don Crusoe was just telling me about how you all took charge here. Not at all, I only made a suggestion. I'm also one of the world's most helpful men, you see. My sir wants something, my job is to make it happen. He took over rulership of this realm because it was the safest position for him to be in. He'd be treated like any other foot soldier if we went on the fight on the front lines, and I didn't want us to die right after being summoned. Pretty much only say indeed when I'm on the throne. Hardly matters for royalty, it's rather like how teenagers see their parents. I mean, as a nuisance? He'd only be proud and domineering, that's really all a king or emperor needs. If you say so. What do you think, master? Well, there's a different thing between administrative and direct roles. Exactly, you see, sir? Like I said, stand tall and be domineering. I see. After all, my name doesn't sound too off from Dom, Quixote. Sorry for that. Don't, worry about it. Oh, sir. Stop that, I don't need your pity, it's only making me more miserable. Thanks again for the cocoa, I'd better head back now. Oh, are you sure you wouldn't like to talk a little more? I should get some rest, he's got an early morning tomorrow. Was that a mistake? Hard to say, I'd have to work up the courage to apologize. What do you think of the Master Caldea, Sancho? You both know how terrible a judge of character I am. I think he's a good person. Above all, he's willing to forgive others that make mistakes. Sir, do you know what Caldea coming here means, right? It means he and his companions came a long way to be here, so there's no need to feel bad for them. I know, but still, I'm afraid there's nothing I can do about this, sir. It's all down to you. Though, of course, depending on how things go, an apology might be the last thing they need. I guess we should head back to the throne. It's time to resume my duties as Charles the Great. Good day, everyone. My true name is Vlad III. I come on behalf of Charles the Great, who has asked that I lend my support to the righteous realm. Unfortunately, I've lost my own servant powers due to extenuating circumstances. However, as a result, His Imperial Majesty has seen fit to trust me with full command of his army. You may consider me your general, marshal, whatever high-status position suits you. If any of you object, speak now. I guess, I'm glad to see none take issue with my leadership. I guess they would all recognize him by name alone. Now then, without further ado, I'd like to begin military training. From this point on, you must act as a single army rather than individual heroes. Together you will form multiple units, all of which will combine to create a unified armed force. I am, of course, aware they'll take more than my say-so to convince you the merits of this new direction. I understand this may concern you. Your individual exploits is what made you heroic spirits. I'm sure many of you believe are strong enough to better off as doing as you please, which is why I'd like to start with a training exercise. I'll form a unit of my own, but I'll keep its numbers a bare minimum. Here's the scenario. My unit will defend a fortress, and the rest of you surround attack it. However, my unit will also be receiving reinforcements. As the attackers, your objective is to break through defenses and claim the fortress as your own. With such overwhelming numbers, your victory should be assured. Failure is not an option. As you begin to see tremendous advantage, you'll surely not refuse, yes? Vlad's speech had the desired result and let us fire in their hearts. Let's do this. You're gonna rid this fortress of good of ours. As these and other indignant war cries, Vlad instructs the casters to construct a temporary fortress. Yeah, we already know that the casters stuff can create actual locations for battle and nothing else, really. A fortress that looked and probably actually was much too flimsy to stand up to a servant attack. Nonetheless, Vlad and a small force entered and locked the gate behind them. In 3 hours, the battle will begin. The servants Vlad chose ran hurriedly to prepare best they could. One or two seemed less than happy about having us selected. Should carry the duties faithfully, having chosen ahead of time. Indeed. But if I may say, can you tell me why you chose me as why you chose siege? Because defense is where I excel. If we win, none of these servants will have any right to complain. Ah, now I see. Master. As I told you earlier, you can't have your servants use their noble phantasms. We also don't need to defeat our opponents. This battle will be a test of our endurance. I urge you to take into consideration when creating your lineup. I am adding Holmes, Roland, and the Zufu to your group. This fortress has intentionally been built with a hole in its defenses that would let the enemy easily occupy should they break through. Our opponents will most likely attempt to claim victory through brute force. When that fails, they'll notice a hole. But looking from a different perspective, if that's where they focus their attention, their assault will become quite predictable. Remember, whether you're playing offense or defense, analyzing and predicting your opponent's actions is the most important thing you can do. Now, go in the hidey hole and wait for the signal. Yes, sir. Good, I'm counting on you. Again, so like before, I'll be backing you up, but I'm not going to do any fighting myself. By the look, you think I'm going to get easy again or something? I don't see you getting ready to jump in the fray either, you know. Bleh. Okay, that's enough of that. Now here's that spell already, would ya? Fine, blah, blah. What kind of chant was that? Get off. It's not words, it's the heart that goes, capiche? I really didn't sound like art was into me, but whatever. I'm empty-minded like that. Are you sure I mean broad-minded? Having an empty mind isn't a good thing. Oh, here they come. This fortress has been built with a secret side gate on the right side. It's not big enough for a wagon, but could let a group of humans through, or at least that's apparently the planned scenario. Our opponents know this as well, so we shouldn't have to worry about riders trying to make their way through. Instead, according to Count Vlad's estimations, we should expect these servants to excel in close-range combat, sabers, lancers, and assassins. Alright, well, here they come. Yeah, exactly. Now! Damn, it's an ambush. Fall back. Wants to fall back now. Alright, let's go to town on them, shall we? Beating out helpless targets feels so good. Nice strategy, losers. You couldn't resist that sweet, juicy bait, could you? That caster there is nasty, and what's with the hideous doll she's carrying? Your dad! Alright, it's go time. Agreed. We got about 5 seconds before Lady Zufu rushes in and starts punching, so we gotta stop before that happens. Alright, so defensive, support. Actually, this is what Lakshmi Bai would excel in. Actually, do I have traces of Christmas past? You know, she's fine with the current one. Actually, this might be a good one for Tammo no Mai. She's good at defense. She's good at healing and support. Aresh probably isn't no, there's sabers in there. Well, Aresh probably has enough defenses that's fine, but probably go to better to go with Vitra, given she has a lot of durability on her side. Lancers are just one of the tankiest jobs in the game, inherently. So. No Zerk, since, well, Zerks might not be a bad option, just for the base attacks. And I have the better Mystic Code outfit for support spell, so I'm in good shape, I think. What's his apply ignoring his Durandal, just single enemy. Interesting. He can use his NP. Oh, I see. But yeah, because they're established servants, they know they have a noble phantasm. But since Lakshmi Bai is here, she's not. She needs to keep up the idea that she's normal.
こ
ま
れ
た
で
前に出る
All right, time to go full quick.
活路を開くはあ
Rulers basically have twice as much HP as they look because they resist damn near everything. That is one of the perks.
守るべき者のために共に戦おう
Yeah, this is definitely something that
さてとこれ
いい
で
指示だ
甘いしょっ
この地を発され
warm up.
前にいい指示だ
賢明な判断
I think Sherlock has the highest attack of all rulers, but since he doesn't have a damage NP, he has to use his attack, basic attacks. Fair. The card, remove buffs, resist.
だこれでよかろうよ
Oh, that should make life a little easier in general. Alright, his Noble Phantasm will take out one.
大天使の加護を与えたまえこれこそ音に聞こえし絶世剣壊れることなきデュランダル
Durandal's big. Oh my. I didn't expect to survive that. Then again, no, I had a decent amount of buffs on him.
甘い
We're gonna attack him once next turn. All out attack. Painful. And of course, Lakshmi Bai has her own defenses. Ooh, nice. Everything landed without, even with the lack of RNG there. Actually, this guy's instant kill, so let's get rid of him next.
甘いしょっぱい食い込みやがれ
An anchor. They ignore defense, but not invulnerability. They didn't even bother trying to target Lakshmi Bai. Excluding enemies summoned during battle, oh my. Retreat, retreat. Damn, I thought this was a good idea. Can't believe I lost this ragtag bunch. I brought shame by my order. You said it. Hell, the river ass like this will get the better of us. Yeah, you better run, rat. Punch your lights out right now. I'm getting out of here. I don't think they'll be coming back anytime soon. Thanks, Zufu. Alright, looks like our work here is done. Looks like things are laying out more as we expected, but let's go check Count Vlad to make sure. I'm officially taking command of this army. I shall be training you the way I deem best. I take it there are no objections. No, sir. A demon, I tell you. Still know what happened. It felt like there was nothing we could do to win. I couldn't destroy one piddling fortress. Some hero I turned out to be. I expect this to happen. It was truly impressive seeing play out. Oh, this is Sancho, by the way. That's terrifying, terrifying. Are you two okay? Yes, we're fine. The castle's almost deserted right now. How terrifying a fully unified army it could be for a day. Yes, sir, I was saying... I knew saving was the right choice. Now that Count Vlad's in charge of our military affairs, We should be more than equal to the task ahead. Indeed. So then, yes, I think now is the time to make our move after we discuss with Count Vlad, of course. Thank you for all your help. This might be a group of assassins, and if that's the case, it could just be one, of course, but who cares? Also, of course, bring Sieg. But for now, rats. Again, thank you for agreeing to manage our military affairs, Count Vlad. Not all. On my honor, I vow that victory shall be ours. Still, the fact remains we're only now pulling up at the starting line. The other realms still have a big lead. Come now, Sancho, look at the bright side. Think of it as saving most of us saving our strength for when we'll need it most. Wow, talk about putting a positive spin on things. Look at me being big old smarty pants. Well then, Count. Very well then, Vlad. I believe we should discuss our next course of action, continuing to train the army, of course. Agreed. Now then, if I may direct your attention to the map. Well, we have a great many things at our plate at present. We are ultimately faced with three options. Do we go on the offensive or fortify our defenses? If the former, do we go after Revenge Realm or Reinstatement Realm? According to the sum total of information Sancho's spies have told me, our best choice would be to strike against Revenge Realm. Why is that? You must look at the big picture. The Reinstatement Realm may have better generals, and there's an excellent chance they'll continue to grow in power. But, for better for worse, Constantine is a known quantity. Think of this singularity as a game board. He wishes to play by the rules and win it for himself. The same does not hold true for the Revenge Realm. They would not think twice about simply overturning the entire board. And there are some strange towers like the one you investigated. Holmes is right, there are long-range cannons. The locations alone make that clear. Quite clear, however. I have a strong suspicion the towers are actually, in fact, already complete. Their plan may be to use them in conjunction with servants whose noble phantasms are themselves cannons. Or perhaps they plan to use them as something much worse than cannons, I can't say for sure. Regardless, I believe the entire Revenge Realm is working to overturn the game board in its entirety, and I suspect that Zhang Zhu, a caster aligned with Revenge Realm, is the one behind this plan. We must therefore eliminate Queen Kriemhild. If she falls, the Revenge Realm is sure to follow. If that happens, the Reinstatement Realm is not going to sit around twiddling their thumbs, are they? No, they will not. I would say this is only my best guess based on the information we have. I could very well be wrong about some things. Regardless, we must act, and we must do so soon. That makes sense to me, but it doesn't sound like our army will be of much help there. You're correct. Our only hope of assassinating Zhangzhou is a small elite team, but such an operation on its own will not bypass the Revenge Realm's defenses. This is why we can also mobilize our army and make them think we're under threat of invasion. We could, in fact, mount an actual attack. And while the other two realms are caught up in the resulting chaos, the assassination team carry out the mission. That's why we need to train our army. That training will take up most of my time today, but I'll help you in the plan overnight. Tonight. I see, then we'll figure out the plan in the meantime. Very grateful if you'd take a look later to see how valuable it is. Very well. In regards to this mission, Master, will you be including me on it as well? Hey, what do you expect? We all know your summoning skills are damn useful. I also like to come along this mission. I have some experience both stealth and combat. I'm concerned about what Moriarty may do. As long as he's around, I cannot in good conscience send the Master off alone. And I'll assign an assassin class to go with you. One on the side of proper human history, of course. Won't be able to do much help with the mission if you can't fight up your full strength, my lord. I guess we won't be of much help. Hey, it's not like either of us was ever cut for espionage, right? Guess I'll be sitting this one out too. Honestly, I don't have the skill set to help out with this. We still have some time until the operation begins. Time we'll need to get our military force in good order and conduct a campaign. We'll also need to use that time to come up with an assassination plan, so let's bring this assassin you speak of now. Dang, I'll call for them right away. Hey there, I'm an assassin. My true name's still secret. I used to undertake an assassination as a part of a certain religious order. I'm honored to take part of this mission. He is most likely a member of the Hassans, then. Very good. These are your squad mates. This will be key to this mission. Do whatever you must to ensure your teamwork is flawless. You have until our army's training is complete. Sir. Hey there, good to meet you too. We get to know each other over drinks. That's the modern way to break the ice. Though, just so you know, I can't drink alcohol myself. Oh, then why go drink and all? You know, that's a good point. I'm sure the coming days will afford us ample opportunity to get to know each other better. For the moment, I think our time we better spent determining the other's one of his combat abilities. I'll make a reservation for you three at the training grounds. Alright, everyone, let's do our best to put a stop to this rebellion. She put her hands together in prayer. It is in a sense an insignificant plan, no matter how holy others may consider her. She can't stop herself from wondering if she's deceiving them in some way. Believe in God, trust in his plan, but perhaps that faith only exists on surface level. That doubt has plagued her since she was summoned. While this no doubt goes without saying, Pope Johanna was not a real person. Her existence, or lack thereof, was debated for centuries. Johanna knows that very well. She's fully aware she's a figment of someone's imagination. She knows that even high and low of her life is perfection. She is sure that whenever she is summoned in a Holy Grail war, though she has no memories of these past summons, she must have fallen deeply into despair. Now that she's aware of this, she can't help but feel there may be no point in praying, or perhaps she has no right to. Oh, that's a lot of people to come in here with. Here. I don't get graded during a VN very often. Let's see here. It looks like it doesn't tell me what you were playing beforehand. Well, welcome, Raiders. Welcome. Looks like you're playing some Fate Grand Order as well. Hopefully you all had a good time. Welcome, welcome. I'm Luce. I stream just about anything here, but for the moment, I'm in the middle of the Traum chapter of Lostbelt. So Lostbelt 6.5. I hope you guys had a good time with the run of Fate Grand Order back there. So I'm not sure what to think. No one believes in mystics and fantastical things nowadays. I'll also say that myths, legends, even the tales of our own adventures are just stories someone made up at some point. But even if that's true, I've never doubted who I am. I know the glorious 12 paladins really exist, and I know love Rogério and I shared was real as well. Even if I'm not the real Bradamante, but a shadow of her being, that doesn't mean I'm not me. No reason you can't think the same, Your Holiness. Tay, and I are indeed both shadows of humanity, but at your core you have an unshakable sense of who you are. Maybe there's a reason for that. Or maybe, I know this may sound odd, maybe heroes like you exist alongside your own mystics and fantasies. That's not true for me. I'm a figment of someone's imagination. My very existence is thoroughly disproved by academics. My life and history is all a figmentary jumble. Hey, how's it going? Got section 15 so far. Nice. Nice. We're in section 11 ourselves right now. So, I've got a bit to catch up. What's more, there's now an overwhelming consensus among academics that I simply never existed. They're right to come to that. Academics are supposed to find the truth of things. The idea Pope Johanna was a revolutionary one could not be dismissed out of hand. History itself could change depending on whether she truly existed or not. And so they found poured over every document to verify it, almost as if they were conducting an autopsy of sorts. They're right to do that. Everything they did was correct. I just didn't take it well, that's all. Really hard and sad, like they were ripping my heart from my chest. I wanted to grab them. Nice. Gotta go sleep and enjoy the rest. Alright, thanks the raid. I appreciate it. Semiramis. Nice. My favorite assassin is Ichi Hogan, I believe. She's my Grailed assassin. Not too many assassins that are personal favorites in that. Not too many personal favorites in that class, but there's been a few like her that stand out for me. Grabbed by the collar, shake them and scream, "How dare you do this to me?" Oh, but we wouldn't approve of that. Not His Imperial Majesty, nor anyone else in the reinstatement realm. Want to grab them? Wait, you want to grab them by their collars? Whole other kind of pain, knowing I've drawn all of you into my anguish. Oh, and the collar part is a figure of speech. Please, just forget about it. Holiness. I'm a paladin. I'm supposed to serve my lord and my country, embody justice and light. I know Archbishop Tulpin would be furious if I didn't ease your suffering. I might have chosen to rebel against proper human mystery, but I'll never stop respecting you. Bradamante, I wish I could do something to repay you. For what it's worth, I pray from the bottom of my heart that you and your loved one will be reunited in romantic bliss. Thank you, Your Highness. Oh, I'm not sure if I should ask you about this. Weren't you arguing with some other servants easier? Nemo Captain of the Nautilus. Oh, thank you for the follow. I stream just about everything on this channel, so feel free to stop by if anything catches your interest, be it FGO or otherwise. I actually have a multiplayer stream on Tuesday that I play with friends, so that's gonna be neat. I appreciate it. Yeah, feel free to lurk. You arguing with some other servants earlier? Yeah, I was. They still suspect me of being a spy. I told them they were mistaken. They chose to cut ties because of the difference in our beliefs. See, does that mean you can't trust me after all? Not at all, Bradamante. I trust you with my life. I just don't want to pit you against your former comrades in arms. I appreciate consideration, Joanna, but you don't have to worry about me. I offer you this promise. On my honor as one of the 12 paladins, I'll fight them with all my might. Thank you. I'm so sorry. Hope you can forgive me for insulting your pride. Oh no, you didn't do anything to apologize for. It makes sense you'd have doubts like that. But I've sworn to follow you in His Imperial Majesty to the end, no matter what. What would you if Constantine and I decided to go different ways ourselves? Oh, please don't ask me that. It's like asking a child which parent they prefer. I'm sorry, I was only teasing. Ah ha ha ha. But what if... Meanie. I'm showing the...
お掃除が
I
必要
probably should have
で
used a
す。
single target for this. Mock battle. Oh dear, I probably shouldn't have done this. You know what, let's just redo the fight. It's better if I do a single target setup with this. Especially if everyone's gonna guts, because if you don't, if Arash has guts, it kind of defeats the whole point of him being there. Oh yeah, now I can show off another of my Grailed servants. Where is she? Well, I guess I can show some off now that I've just got the raiders here. Tomo Cat was my tutorial role, and she has never let me down since. So she is 120, everything about her is upgraded as much as I possibly can. Jason is my obligatory bronze servant that gets everything upgraded, that has high investment. I'm debating if I want to bring him to 120, because honestly, 120 was kind of a pain in the ass, and it doesn't even feel that great upon finishing, so I'm not sure I'll do it again, but if I do, it's probably going to be him. Beecher is a spook that has since turned into one of my ace units in the general sense. So as you can see, I've gone all in on her. And since I'm a free-to-play player, I have to appreciate the good 5 stars that I get. Tamalancer is one of the early 5 I got. I joined around year 2 during Valentine's, I think it was. So she's been about... I believe she was one of my first 100s. I don't think she was the first, though. Castoria, I probably don't have to explain why she's level 100, but let's just say Lostbelt 6 was really fun. Yeah, who knew a legally distinct Fey creature would love the Lostbelt 6 storyline, huh? Sieg was I have because he's the biggest surprise. I genuinely didn't like him in Apocrypha, which, you know, is pretty much the case for everyone who ever watched Apocrypha. But he really felt a lot better in this game, and so I've made him a Grail project to reflect that. Whoops. Wrong click. But yeah. I do not regret having him built. Sherlock Holmes here is one of the reasons I started playing the game to begin with. I pretty much use him the way a lot of people do who invest this heavily in him. They basically put him at the end as a sort of last stand. I put him at the end as last stand servant since he's good at soloing. Lakshmi Bai is one of those historical figures I didn't think would be turned to a servant. So naturally, even though she's very clearly a Jean face, I guess they took the Jeanne d'Arc of India a bit too literally. I still think she's a fun addition to the team. She's obviously best as a supporter and side DPS instead of main DPS, but I like having her around. Suzuka's a fun one. I got her and grailed her because Tammo no Mai, her base form and her summer form didn't come right away. I had to get summer. Yeah, summer Tammo was from a download campaign, not summer 2 when I first tried to go for her, where I wasted like, I don't know, 800 quartz and never got her, something like that. So I ended up, when I got the 4-star ticket, I picked up her rival Suzuka and grailed her out of pure spite. She's a lot of fun, especially since I've learned I like crit teams, but I haven't used her as much since there's so much competition. Uh, Nightingale, Santa Nightingale. I just liked her story in the Christmas event, if we're honest. I have gotten no end of criticism for grailing a unit that is arguably best left level 1. But I can understand that. Zenobia, same thing. A historical figure I didn't expect to go in the game, so of course I invested in her best I could. But as you can see, I've been running low on foes lately, so I couldn't put too much into her. She's a much more recent addition compared to everyone else here. My Hans I don't have. Oh yeah, he's Bond 10, so he's in storage. I don't really use him, honestly. Let's see, who else have I grailed? Oh yeah. The first 5-star ticket ever, I did choose Tammo no Mai here because, as mentioned, she refused to come home. I had to drag her to my Chaldea kicking and screaming, basically. But I finally have her, which is good because Jason's biggest weakness is that even railed up to 100 like this, his damage is very anemic. I've got a lot of supports I need to grail here. Oh yeah, Queen Sheba. Queen Sheba's also a servant that a character I never thought would get a servant in this series, so she's also one I was glad to see. Basically, Anna from Fire Emblem here. Daikoku 10 is just rats. We are the rats. Also, Jason buff incoming. Yeah, I couldn't remember if he already had it or not, so I'd had to check. Yeah, he hasn't. He hasn't gotten it yet. So once he does, fun fact: my Jason actually will outdamage an NP2. He will outdamage an NP2 Muramasa because of how much investment I put into him. That's how good he is. That said, his damage still can be a bit low, so that's why it's nice to have Tammo no Mai on top of Castoria to help push his damage. He really needs it, but it's nice all the same. I was going for only cared about Daikoku 10, but I did get Bunyan along the way, so, you know, might as well. Oh yeah, Kichi Hogan's my favorite of the assassins. She's my only grailed assassin, so that's notable. Every need Hans use mine. I've got a bunch of 4 and 5s. I don't have that many 5-stars because I'm on a purely free-to-play budget. And so I save up base, but now the good news is the game gives you enough welfares, and I have enough bronzes that I can handle most nodes with that all that without. I have my Hans a lot. That's. Oh, thank you for the follow. I do just about anything here, so I like to mix it up a good bit. FG I usually play whenever there's a chapter out, so I'll definitely be doing Lostbelt 7 when that comes at the end of the year. That's gonna be a fun one. #1 Hans player. Oh, nice. Yeah, as you can see here, I've gone for the strategy of split grails across a handful of favorites as opposed to hyper-focusing one. Tamacat here was largely an experiment, but I would have 120 Sherlock, but as you can see, he's NP1, so there's no way in hell I can get the coins to get him to 120. He'll never make it. Very unfortunate. That's how it goes sometimes. The coin system was added pretty much entirely to add incentives for whales, after all. And I mean the coin system specifically. For appends and stuff, they could have easily made that apply with the regular mats or something that already existed. They didn't need to make coins for it. Yeah, I tend to rely mostly on 4 stars and welfares with a few key 5 stars here. Which I guess is pretty normal for a... Oh, right. We're going to use Queen Sheba for this, since she's my best single target caster. Alright, we already watched this. So let's just dive into the fight again. I shouldn't be wasting AP stamina like this, but let's be fair. I'm not the kind of person who goes heavily on lottos, nor do I need to, since on a free-to-play budget, I only really need to max out the welfares each year, and we only get like 5 of those. It's not that I don't actually need that much. Well, thanks, Antherio. Hope you have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. And alright, Queen Sheba. Queen Sheba will eventually get a buff where this turns into a battery, so she'll be a lot better soon, luckily for me. This is gonna be good. And we'll just do this for a full arts chain. Sheba's got good damage and has a pretty good is pretty good at NP spam, so it should be I also think her NP is just hilarious with those Jins kicking the enemy around like that. I even had her use it against Ceranos entirely because I thought it would be hilarious. And it was. I just, you know, had to eat like 3 of those stupid blue crystal thingies. But hey, I beat him with her. Yeah, so she has something like 18 hits if I remember, so it's awesome. Why am I... Oh, right. Well, actually, he has dodge, but I have ignore invincible, so screw you, buddy. I did actually remember to use the skill, right? No, yeah, I did. Should be easy. Yeah, she has it, so this should activate his guts, which probably will activate the in the fight. Yeah, we set off the guts, so we're done here. That was easy. And again, I guess my Shiba is NP5, which gives her a pretty good perk over the others. I think Caster Shuten is technically stronger, but my arts support was a lot better than my Buster support for quite some time, so... Plus, I'm not as big a fan of Shuten as most others I've run into, so... It'll be fine. Now, is this against a single target or AoE? Guess we can stick to the rats if it's AoE. Let's find out. Yeah, I only get about 25 to 50 boxes each lotto when I do them, so not nearly as much as I know some people in the Discord and on YouTube get like 1,000, which is great and all, especially if they're a whale who needs those mats. But since I only build a free-to-play unit, since I have to build on a free-to-play budget, I just straight up don't have enough servants for that. Where I need that, I mean. All right, everyone, it's time we put our plan together. It's a good plan's key to success. That's what my senior assassins are always telling me. Our first target is the criminal's second in command, Zhang Zhu. If we're to succeed, we must get him to leave the singularity. Formidable as his noble phantasm and spells are, his intelligence is a far greater threat. I considered using some sort of magecraft to render him unconscious, neutralizing him, and then bring him back here. But ultimately, I decided we need to completely eradicate any chance of him using that intelligence against us. We will assassinate him as such a dire threat deserves. Got it, hear ya. It's always possible for targets to change when making decisions at your own discretion on site. That's great, we're on the same page about this now. Solid communication. There are 3... I'm getting the sense this guy isn't actually that experienced. There are 3 components we need to decide. How, where, and when. Oh, we'll obviously have to ambush him. Precisely. Sniping him would be far too risky. Perhaps it'd be a different story if we had a truly first-rate archer on our side, but no, I doubt that even sniping would succeed. Our target is, after all, Zhang Zhu, the leader of the Yellow Turbans. Yeah, depending on what Taoist art, his defense could be absolutely airtight. Oh, I see. So that's why you called me here. Indeed, we realize we need the help of a professional in the sage arts. The secretary already gave us permission to bring you on board. It's unfortunate that she's part of the rebellion, but the assassin will be able to contain her if things take a turn. Though, of course, we can't. We'll have to do our best to ensure things don't come to that. Still, I don't know if I can make it all the way to Vendrom's castle. I'm not exactly what we call nimble compared to most people. In fact, I'm kind of a slowpoke. Yeah, that's it. Can I leave now? No. No, come on, get over it. Alright, now that Miss Zufu is here, let's discuss the where and when of the plan. First of all, Zhang Zhu's behavioral patterns. According to scouts that we've had tracking him, Zhang Zhu spends most of his time in the Revenge Realm's capital, with the occasional excursion to Fort Azagok. But Krimmel doesn't trust him with authority over all the surrounding area. He also sometimes causes a problem for Reinstatement Realm during the Revenge Realm's expeditions. He is an excellent leader to his troops. However, these troops vary tremendously in terms of quality, and he cannot fill his gaps on his own. As a result, he frequently loses these skirmishes, but he's also quick to retreat when safety when this occurs. In this ongoing war between realms, he himself has never suffered so much as a scratch. Though he is seems to be not particularly skilled in direct combat, he makes up for this with sheer adaptability. In effect, we could say that he is Revenge Realm's second king. Suffice to say, it would be beyond foolish to try and assassinate him in the capital. Without an escape route, chances are any such attempt would fail, even if we were to risk our own lives to accomplish it. Were we to try assassinating him on his way to the fort, he would have an excellent chance of slipping through our fingers. So, I've concluded our best bet is to infiltrate the fortress and assassinate him there. However, even with this plan, our odds of success remain low. If we trust only luck seeing us through, we're doomed to failure. So we're missing something important then. It's tricky. I guess it all comes down to how tight the fortress security is. We can assume it's tight indeed, but perhaps not so tight that there is no room for us to slip through. Tell us, Miss Zufu, how would you go about protecting this fortress? Do we know how this fortress is built and where? Let me see. Yeah, here we go. It's all in this document. Yeah, this place is practically airtight. You can tell. I don't know the first thing about Western spells, but I've got almost a sixth sense for Eastern ones. To put it another way, if they did use any Western spells, I wouldn't be able to tell you anything about them. I can tell you, this fortress is built using Quimen Junjia. Basically, you use astrology and claromancy to determine optimal orientation of all sorts of objects. It basically works on everything from people to armies to castles. It can tell you things like the best way for you to walk or a direction where you're sure to fail. As I recall, he used it during the Three Kingdoms period. Yeah, the unrelenting, not the unrelenting, that's Lu Zhang. Unreturning formation, I've heard of that too. Anyway, my point is, Zhang Zhu uses his Taoist arts to lock this fort down tighter than a drum. But historically speaking, once you've breached a fortress, capturing it is quite simple. It may be that these Taoist arts are only notable defenses we must overcome. Basically, all comes down to this one servant, huh? You mean me? Seems that way, yeah. Okay, I'll do it. Really, when you think about it, that guy might look older, but I actually go back way further than he does. Hell, I was a genuine court sorcerer for China all the way back in the time Emperor Hong. Sure, I was involved in a different matter for a while, and my knowledge of Tao's is a bit fuzzy, but I'll figure something out. Welp. It's okay, I believe, Juju, I believe in you. That's how you can come up with a nickname for me. But you know, it's kind of a good fit. No, knock it off. I insist you show me the respect I deserve. Address me as Lady Jufu, got it? Well, how exactly do we go about this? Do we need to conduct reconnaissance on the fortress to get past defenses? No, in fact, I think we can put together a counter-strategy based on what we know now already. For example, say there's a talisman, a talisman that can counteract it. You can make a whole bunch of the latter kind now, and from here I can hammer those basics into your head so you know what to do with them. Yeah, actually, this could work. Excellent, I can finally see a way forward. We'll begin with combat training in teams to reach the minimum amount of teamwork necessary to execute the plan. We'll also help Miss Zufu with her item construction, while having her coach us in the basics of Taoist arts. while hammering out the details of this plan before the day of the mission arrives. Sounds reasonable. Alright, then I'm gonna need you guys to bring me a bunch of materials I need for the talismans as soon as humanly possible. Oh, like what? Should be able to use forbidden pages for the paper. Oh, and that's one more thing. What's that? It's good. Oh, we're gonna have to fight something. King
まだまだ
Vorpal
未熟
Chicken.
者ですが頑張ります。
そうか。
That's a start. Alright, let's see.
白兵戦行きます。こういうこともできる古きルール。ゴーシゴーシ。戦いできた。おむつ。
Here we are. This will probably be a lot easier once Mighty Chains get here, but that's not until the anniversary. So we're a bit there.
またのお越しを心よりお待ちしております。
Ah, there we are. Not quite as powerful since it's AoE, but it gets the job done. Oh yeah, this will finish it.
信じる者にお疲れ様でした。ご飯にしますか？お風呂にしますか？
Probably don't even need to do anything for the weeklies, I don't think. Now we just have to collect lots of this chicken's blood. At least they're big enough, there's plenty to go around. Let's see. Provide the talisman's incantation and chicken blood. Yep, that's right. Honestly, I don't know how much help these talismans are gonna be against Zhangju's fortress. They should at least be better than trusting blind luck to save our asses. So, well then, let's get down to business then, shall we? Yeah, let's do it. Friendship, solidarity, hard work. Now that's a recipe for success. What a weirdly sentimental assassin. Now there's a few riders I can use here. I've been around long enough, I do have Rider Kentoki, so he's an obvious choice. I could also go with Rider Ryoma, who has gotten more popular because Arts generally has better support. I could also go with Rider Ishtar, so let's do precisely that. I imagine she's another one that would give others an aneurysm if I grailed her. I've debated it. That was for dummies in a introductory course. I see, so we're fighting books here. We'll get some forbidden pages, drops, I hope. Drops, I hope.
ここでまっすぐ覚悟なさい。
Yeah, Rider Ishtar definitely seems to have some magical girl vibes with her basic attacks.
もちろん。命令する。はいはい。
Veteran course.
飛ばしていくわよ。それではご機嫌ね。ツアースタート。夏の思い出を作りましょうか。これが私のデジタルトラベルスピーカー。
She's a genuinely great unit in terms of support and damage. It's just that, at least by 4-star Rider standards, it's just that she has She suffers from, well, first of all, no battery, and also,
右足準備
the
古き
general
ルー
sense, support for quick isn't as good as the others. Now let's just go with the... Oopsie.
望まれたように
Whoops.
あれ
I
が
forgot
い
to
つ
give
か
her all
見
the
た終わりの
batteries.
星どれほど遠く汚れても
This was a mistake, a terrible mistake.
さあ幕を開けてアラウンドスカイ
You know, let's just roll with it. I could reset the fight, but let's not do that. We'll just use Scotty's to make it easier.
どうかな白兵戦行きます女神のバカンス
I'll just go with a quick chain, I guess. This should finish it.
お願いパートゴージャスハッピーエレガントきらめく小島のアンガルカセブンスタ
Yeah, it's easy enough. I can do whatever I want, really.
今回はうまくいきました
A few days later... I don't think I can read another word. I suppose none of you will be surprised to hear this work suits me quite well. Well, we don't want any of you getting overwhelmed or confused, so we may as well stop here. Let's not forget the three of us are rank amateurs. For a stopgap measure, I believe this should be quite sufficient. I dare say our teamwork's improved considerably as well. According to Count Vlad, the army's training is almost complete as well. Guess that means we'll be heading out soon. Indeed, as previously discussed, only the four of us will undertake this mission. Master, I'll be counting on your simple summons to augment our capabilities. Yeah, between the sum of the three of you, you should be strong enough to take down Zhangzhou. Besides, the bigger question, the more likely is the enemy to discover what we're up to. I'd say we're at a tipping point here. I take there are no objections, and let's begin the mission. Here's to our victory and the power of teamwork. I swear, there's something about that assassin that screams shonen manga protagonist. We're departing first thing tomorrow morning, so I believe we should say our goodbyes now. Sir, did you throw out your back again? I did. I could really use a massage. Like, wait, no, that's not it. I was thinking, there's probably not much sense in bringing it up now. But are we sure it's not too dangerous to send the master to join us on the mission? I understand your concerns very well, Don. But I'm afraid this master has to stay very close to his summoned servants. Usually those waits for masters to stay at a safe distance while supporting their servants. But they're beyond the master's capabilities. He has no choice but to wade in the fray himself. Technically qualifies to serve as a master. I'm not in a position to summon any servants right now. You're goddamn right you aren't. We're certainly not about to give a mage who already betrayed proper ministry once the right to summon his own servant again. Let's get off my nose. I could happily go the rest of my life without commanding another servant. So there you have it. As much as it pains me, and really truly does, we have to let him going along if we're to have any hope of assassinating Zhangzhou. I'll do it. Sir, I don't know about you, but the Chaldean's explanation makes sense to me. There's nothing more for me to do besides pray for their success. It's alright. Old Master, whatever you do, make it back alive. I, Don Quixote, shall await your return with eyes of hopes. Thank you. I promise I shall come back safe. Well said. Oh, to sound like a real knight there. Did, sir, you really did. Then maybe I'll go along after all. Absolutely not. Rats, and here I thought things were going pretty well. No matter how much of a knight you may be, your place right now is on the throne. It may not be easy, but you must be patient all the same. Alright then, Master, I hate to send you on this mission alone. I understand I'm essentially useless as a servant now that I cannot fight, but... That's alright, you're just as much as any servant ever. Guess I can't argue with that. Rest assured, I'll make sure our diversion gets the enemy's attention. Sherlock Holmes. No, Count Blood, I'll do everything in my power to ensure our master's safety. Stolfo. Yeah? I would like you to accompany the master and his team over the edge of the Revenge Realm. You got it. Looks like I'm coming for a little while myself. Not you though, Roland. You got another job too. Yeah. I'll lend you my Oliphant, but I'm the only one that can blow it, so... Ah well, for the time being, focus on being alive. Now you say that's what you've always done, then I guess I got no advice to give. I'd like to throw a send-off party before you leave, but my sir thinks we better save that for your return. Indeed. When you return victorious, we'll throw a party to celebrate. That sounds better to me too. Then I'll have everything ready by the time you get back. Oh, party, can't wait. Not just any party, a real... Hey, Sancho. Yes, sir? How can you tell when a party's a gala? Now that I think about it, the only party I've ever attempted to is the Harvest Festival. And what about the celebration the Duchess and Don Diego threw for you? Oh, I guess the Duchess is more awkward than celebratory, but still. At any rate, just leave that all to me, sir, though I will rely on you for all the grunt work. Fine with me, I have no idea how to plan a party myself, so just tell me what to do and I'll do it. That's what I like to hear. Well, yeah, Alex, you still have some time for you. Want to get a little more shut-eye? I think I'll go for a walk. I have the feeling I'm gonna have to meet with someone out here. Roger that. Like nobody else is here yet. Oh, morning. How you been, pal? Hello, I don't believe we've met. Oh, is that Kelly on the line? Nice to meet you. Seton, the Master's Comrade-in-Arms. Comrade-in-Arms. Yeah, I'm not surprised he's still going Seton. I'm just... sorry, that was maybe kind of presumptuous. We haven't actually fought together, have we? That's okay. I guess it's fitting, since we're technically on the same side. Whoa, really? Oh, man, now I'm blushing. Anyway, what are you doing up this early? Hell, it's basically still night. I got a lot going on this morning, so... Are you sure we can trust this servant? Don't worry about me. I won't tell anyone. Nobody likes a rat. I'm just sorry. Oh, but I like our rats. They become very loyal minions. I was really sorry I can't be of any help myself. Can you at least show me your face then? Haha. Sorry, but I'm gonna have to keep Mystery Man thing going a little while longer. At least till the banner ruins it. Knowing when to do a thing is almost as important as knowing what to do. That said, I'm not loving how I gotta draw this out either. I can't tell you to trust me or they'll definitely be worth the wait, but if you can guess my identity your own, hopefully it'll be a sign of good fortune. Oh hey, is it morning already? Hang in there, pal. I'll be rooting for you. I'm gonna try and take care of my own business best I can, too. Is Real Mystery Man alright? Spirit Origin's no longer a phantom, no stronger than a Phantom Spirit, so I'm sure he was really weak, but he is a servant. And you don't sense any hostility from him at all, right? None. Okay, I'll trust your judgment on these things. I'm sure that hasn't led to horrible, horrible consequences back during the Epic of Remnant, specifically. If that's true, I wonder why it won't help. I suppose we'll just have to trust him when he says he's got his reasons. Alright, let's head back to the castle. You got a long day ahead of you. Is everyone ready? Yeah, I guess. All good here. Let's get going. Remember, we'll be heading very deep into Revenge Realm territory. We're bound to encounter enemies along the way, then we won't necessarily need to fight our way through them. If we must, we can always just run. In fact, I had Miss Zufu pack numerous talismans specifically for that purpose. Just be aware that we won't be able to use them every time. We could be in trouble if the enemy has a caster of their own as well. Hey, you guys all ready? I'd say so, yes. Got it. I'll be taking you guys up to the border in one of those golem-drawn carriages. Thank you. Okay then, let's get going. You're probably sick of hearing this, but remember the direction. And we infiltrate the fortress room will be critical. It's an extremely complex spell, but it always goes in a set order. And doesn't matter how strong the sorcerer casting it is. In some ways, it's kind of like a gun. If you want to fire, no matter who you are, you have to load it, disengage, and then pull the trigger. No matter how good a shot you are, you can't fire a gun without doing all those things, right? It's the same with a spell. It might be complex, but it is not invincible. For example, say I made it so that no one could enter the building from any direction. If you cast spells like that on a castle, then how would its defenders come and go? So we can definitely get inside. The problem is doing so is complex and not all intuitive. Gotta do my best to solve the riddle, but in case I get it wrong, we'll try again. Unfortunately, unlike video games, real life doesn't have a continue option. Anyway, assuming we make it inside, there probably won't be that many soldiers to contend with. I presume we'll have Aiden and Dunja to thank for that as well. Yep. Not only is it fiendishly difficult to navigate, but the people inside could also mess up inadvertently screwing with orientations. So they wouldn't be able to station many other servants in there even if they wanted to, which they don't. That as it may, we do believe we will encounter some sort of military resistance inside. Most likely some sort of being Zhangzhu controls with his Taoist arts in lieu of servant soldiers. Yeah, that's a good point. If he uses familiars or something along those lines, he could severely restrict their behavioral patterns to make sure they don't mess with the spell. That would make them much harder to control, though, so I think we have a shot at this. Thank you, Miss Zufu. Going all over this ahead time has been a great help. It also means where it's guaranteed to fail, since a discussed plan never goes as planned. We'll be counting on your assistance inside the fortress as well, as your skills will be crucial to this operation. However, there's one other key to this operation needs to be addressed. Right, you mean me, don't you? I take your noble phantasms equal to the task of killing Zhangzhu? Yes, it may not be as strong as First Hassan's, but mine is by no means weak. Although thinking back on it, maybe pride is what kept me from ever matching his. Speaking of which, I understand you've met a number of the Hassans lately yourself. May I ask what they're like? Boy, we met Cursed Arm Hassan, 100 Faces Hassan, Serenity, and of course, First Hassan himself. I hear there might be another one. Oh, really great people. There's also one coming up, but we don't know that yet. I see. Well, now I feel embarrassed making big proclamations someone as accomplished as you. I hope you'll trust me to see this mission through. Hey guys, you got a minute? What is it? Well, one of our squads is fighting a skirmish with one of our Revenge Realm squads. I see. Situation. Looks like we're losing, but at least they're prepared to retreat. What do you guys want to do? Go around them to stealth? That would probably be best. What do you think, Master? The smart option is to steer clear. Gotcha. Squad does seem like they have things handled. We'll take a detour then. There, we made it past the prob. Huh? Ah. Like beasts attack. Understood, we'll take care of them. Let's go. Good luck. But thanks. So yeah, I guess they must not have finished Zufu's animations or such. I guess I better help out a little too. Well, I just agreed to do so in the first place. We don't know what's coming, huh? Well, I think we all know what to do when you don't know what the enemy is exactly. Sometimes all you need, it's best to just throw berserkers at the problem. You can never have too many berserkers lying around, right? Although funny and...
ついてこいよ。行くぜ。日の糸せいな。いいだろう。
もちろん味の
I need to make sure... I'm pretty sure he won't kill with this, but I want to be sure that she gets that off. Yeah, that command code is absolutely essential to making Tummo Cat work. I can tell you that much. Of course, I guess she already has one from the buffs, but, who cares? Now what we can do, at the very least, is save the skill that actually has debuff immunity on it. Well, stun immunity. Tummo Cat's kit is all over the place, which to an extent is within character for her, but it's also the issue of being a year 1 servant, because the devs clearly had no idea how their own game worked. See all those quick cards that are 2 hits, arts cards that are 1 hit, and yet a lot of stuff like NP gain and star generation is based on number of card hits. Might as well make sure he can't use that. And we'll go with a full... I do like Tummo Cat's costume. I'm kind of surprised she got one before base Tummo no Mai. In fact, Tummo no Mai doesn't have a costume at all, which genuinely surprises me given how many she has in other games. Weird. Yeah, like I said, you can never have too many berserkers lying around. There we go, all the beasties gone. Now we can collect the materials. As much as I wish we could, I'm afraid time is of the essence. Our mission is an urgent one, after all. Oh, looks like we're almost there. Yeah, this is Revenge Realm, alright. You can tell because it adds a red filter everything. Alright, this is as far as I go. I'm back on my hippogriff. See you guys later and good luck. We're counting on you. We won't let you down. Woo! Yeah. My predictions never pan out, but I got a good feeling about this mission. Well, bye. His predictions never pan out as he says. Perhaps we should be expecting things to go poorly? Come on, let's go. Let's. I don't like this. Tower of Zan. Oh, I didn't know so it's called the Tower of Xanten. Hmm. Well, at least it's not the Tower of Zod or Tower of Babil. Let's see here. I'm gonna grab a sip of my drink because my throat's gonna be killing me already, if not already. That kind of is. Okie dokie. Feeling better a bit, at least. Plot in the aftermath. How extremely vague. I guess this is where we finally learn exactly what he's been hiding this time as their quote-unquote secret weapon. $5,000. That is how many servants the Righteous Realm can currently field in their army. The numbers include about 6 heroic spirits, the rest are phantom. Large as those numbers are, they have no hope of defeating either revenge or reinstatement. Even so, there's beauty to be found in directing a group of highly trained servants towards a common goal. This will be the Righteous Realm's first large-scale battle. As I said, this will be a culmination of our training. Think of it as another exercise, if you like. But knowing that anything less than your best effort will be considered an act of treason. Treason not against me, but our Emperor, Charles the Great. Remember this, the battle is not to demonstrate our might to the Revenge Realm, it's to show your devotion to our Emperor. I'm aware he's not present here with us. He is, however, using a spell of far sight to observe each and every one of you. Remember that well and fight with honor. Show our Emperor this is the righteous way. We have nothing to fear from either. Show them what you are capable of. Oh God, please let everyone come back safely. I think it might better in your heart if you didn't watch this, sir. Why don't keep an eye on things while you focus on praying? Muttering indistinctly. We really aren't cut out to be Charles the Great, are we? Ironic, a decision we made to save ourselves bringing us closer to death. I don't know if we're ever going to be able to get out of this. I have an urgent message, my queen. The Righteous Realm's army is on the move. Headed straight for Fort Worms. Finally shown up. How many troops? No more than 5,000, my queen. Let's see, there's no need to mobilize our army in response. Still, they've never made a move like this. Recall the majority of our soldiers guarding the border with reinstatement. I'll go meet this army as well. Get Zhongzhu here, now. I'm afraid I have some bad news, my queen. We can't get a hold of Lord Zhongzhu. I wonder what's going on. What'd you have us do, my queen? Go out and meet our enemy. 10,000 ought to suffice. Elite knights. Assemble your formations now. Right away, my queen. Wonder what happened to him. Is he slacking? Did he turn traitor? Did he die? I swear, just when I need the cunning old man the most. What a hassle, she sighed. Turn back the clock a bit. Fort Agozok. Fortress where Zhangju has shut himself away with 100 of his loyal servants. It seems to be a small group, but in a fortress where even the security trolls are confined to a painfully specific route, they were more than sufficient, especially with his security measures. The fortress itself is also situated in the heart of Revenge Realm's territory. Even were there other two realms aware of it, they'd never send troops this far in. He never enjoyed shutting himself up in this fortress, though, but he had two reasons for doing so. The first was supervision. As this fortress contained something taboo in the Revenge Realm, Zhang Zhu could not relax without coming time to check on it. He also wanted to make sure that none of the servants patrolling the walls realized what this taboo was. If they did, they'd have no choice but to tie up loose ends. The second was preparation. Zhang Zhu would never miss a chance to better prepare for rebellion. Not to only to rebel against proper human history, but of course to rebel against Queen Hermeld as well. Ah, we knew it. The old men of this game are always planning that. Like, there's no telling how long she'll last after all. His concerns lay with her mental balance, or rather lack thereof. He knew she resorted to every trick she could think of in her efforts to take vengeance for Siegfried, her beloved husband. She even went as far as to try and offer up her own body to Attila, aka Altera. The depths of her hatred and her eye for strategy both far exceeded ordinary parameters. Gangju knew that well, and he also knew that she was a berserker. However sane she might seem, beneath that she's a monster whose heart burns with an unending thirst for revenge, and so understood that he would eventually have to rebel against her, even if it meant grinding her down to a nub in lieu of completely falling apart. Now what am I going to do with him? His indecision was rooted in uncertainty about whether his trump card was an ace or a joker. If used well, it could be a blade to Krimel's throat. If used poorly, it could destroy the whole Revenge Realm, and Jiangju with it. Oh, it's Siegfried, isn't it? And he could trust the fine-tuning this particular asset to no one else. He once commanded armies numbering tens of thousands, schemes, ambitions, and desires were without end, but today, his lucky streak would come to an end. In addition to his two secrets, he also made two grave mistakes. First, he failed to account the existence of another talented sorcerer, even if they may not have been quite on his level. And his second, ultimately fatal mistake was failing to account for the world's greatest detective paying him a visit. Okay, this is Zhang Zhu's Dune Japan, or Cosmic Board. Of course, it's probably different from a conventional one, since it was made specifically for him. But that shouldn't matter as long as we can figure out the basic directions that we need to go. Alright, Miss Zufu, where do we begin? Alright. It uses 8 geometric gates. Rest, life, wound, grove, scene, death, shock, and open. You need to go through life, scene, and open to avoid the other 5. Start with life. This way, of course, to be quiet as possible. Okay, follow me. As long as we stick to our training, my presence concealment should extend the rest of you at least for a little while. Though, of course, I'm just a run-of-the-mill assassin, not one of the Hassans. So I'm afraid I may not be much better than nothing. But alright, that's still more than enough. Now then, shall we? Funny enough, First Hassan has the highest level presence concealment in the game, but his Noble Phantasm specifically requires that he reveal himself to his target before he can use it, so ironically, he can't use it to activate his Noble Phantasm as a surprise attack. He has to specifically show himself. Right. Wrong. Shit, this way leads to the Death Gate. Nobody to move. Damn it, he must have made even more modifications. When you think exactly as he did, a single mistake will put us at the Death Gate. There are 3 enemy soldiers here. What should we do? I'll prefer to avoid them if we can. Be a tall order. What's next? Either keep going straight or make a right turn here. Can't avoid them if we do that. It's like, keep this quiet. The extra modified silence amplifying talisman should be able to erase any sign of our battle right down to our presence, but it won't last forever, so we'll need to take them out quickly and without Noble Phantasm. Fine with me. Let's go. Counting down 3, 2, 1. Here goes. Enemy Crap, I can't talk. No way, I can't make sound at all. Your lives are mine. I'm not allowed Noble Phantasms, so... How about we take a full Zerk team? Granted, I'll want a single target Zerk if I'm doing that. I'll need to babysit, but that's why I have one of the reasons I have the invincibility mystic code for this particular team.
オペの時間だ。
Assassins trying to assassinate the enemy riders. Need to do it this way.
動くな。
Oh wow. Oh, not bad.
治りたくないのか。
Gain C stars. I want this.
どこから潰したもの？使うぞ。
Might keep Morgan alive already, but your skeletal strength sounds good.
そうか。ああ、
There we are.
そうか。
Oh wow. Missed an 8% crit because of course she would, but it's fine. He's already dead. And beating up an already dead foe makes sense for Berserker, so thematically appropriate as well.
いつの世も反乱分子は物足りませんね。
A lot in the aftermath. Yeah, I don't go very hard on Lottos, so I'll be fine doing this. Yeah, we're gonna need Zerks for this, so let's go full Zerk. Over. Nobody seems to notice us, so let's keep going. Be heading to the basement here. I hope your theory's right, Holmes. It is. Rest assured we'll find Zhangzhu here. No expert in the Taoist arts, but thanks to you, I have at least a reasonable understanding of the processes. What has a process also has an endpoint. That is to say, all things have a logical. Here, that conclusion is the room next to the safest place in the fortress. That's where we'll find him. Of course, it'd be too obvious to be in the safest room, so he has to be in the second safest. A pleasure to make your acquaintance, Lord Zhangzhu. Oh, Sherlock Holmes, is it? I'm impressed you're able to navigate my starts cage. Eh? Oh, not at all. I couldn't have done alone. Even I cannot intuit the intricacies of another culture's secrets. But it is another matter entirely when I have the aid of one familiar. As long as I understand the process, I can arrive at a logical conclusion. I knew you're the master who got away. I'm surprised you came back. Admirable. Here to avenge Salome? You won't provoke me. I already have. Need to keep your emotion in check is proof enough. Times like these, it's imperative to stay cool and collected. Now then, surely you didn't expect to come waltzing in my inner chambers and leave with your lives, did you? In fact, we did. You have not a single ally to call upon for aid. Oh? For any aid to arrive for you, it would only compound your present predicament. So risky is this little project of yours. We, on the other hand, have already called in for help. She's removing every sound in this fortress as we speak. I suppose I should be afraid for my life, but I'm more impressed by her compassion. You're right, I can't be too quick to call for help, which is why I cast paralysis on my allies right now. I must ask, though, did you, with that piercing intellect of yours, account for these? Come forth. Actually, yes. These are my yellow turban puppet soldiers. Pretty fashionable get-ups, don't you think? Did you account for these as well? I must confess I did not. But I did indeed determine you have some accomplice or some matter of faithful subordinates with you. Your puppets are therefore well within my expectations, so prepare yourself. My luck hasn't run out yet, nor am I so far past my prime. I'll let the likes of you kill me. I'm Zhang Zhu, the great teacher, and I'm about to give you the most painful lesson of your lives. Sadly, however, you're not Byleth, who is also a teacher, and the reinforcement realm got him.
オペの時間だ。
Protect me.
さてどこから潰したものか。あまり悩ましくない楽しくなるでしょう。暗きによく言いま
This
した。
should theoretically clear them all. I think I can actually win with this group. Oh my. Oh yeah, death golem.
それは絶えず見た滅びの夢。
There's a ruinous dream I
報
cannot
い
see.
はなく救いはない。最果てに
At
ありな
world's
がら
end, the bird seems to
鳥は明日を勝ち。どうか知るべき。ローガス、キャメ
God.
ラ、死になさい。
蒼天すでに死す。皇天まさに立つべし。武士は空士にありて天下大一ならん。
もう飛べない。
I should be able to win this easily. Jason's attack buff. Storia's attack buff. That's a buster attack, so... Well, no, the defense might actually still help, so let's do precisely that. Not enough.
簡単に終わらないように。
Nope, not enough. But I can do this.
おい、
負け
こ
ないぞ。
の私の命令か。畳か。
モルゴー。
冷たいが降るぞい。気をつけ。
運命ですか。いい判断。
Alright, we're gonna power up Morgan to get as much of this done as we can. Should be able to work, I think.
それはいつか来る兆しの星。誰に呼ばれるまでもなく、あなたは星をかざすでしょう。アラウンドコリバーン。時期だ。神戸を垂れよ。恐怖は希望も。
I would, yeah. I think even NP1 Morgans should be fine for this.
分断す
Good in theory, anyway.
冷たいが降るぞい。気をつけ。激雷天より来た。
Well, Infected Panda, welcome to the stream. I grow tired of this. Do I do this now, or... Let's do something dumb. I probably should have used... Actually, this is probably an ideal mission to have used, the alter ego from one of the events this year on... Oh well. I guess I kind of wasted her NP, didn't I? Oh well. It says directly that he's out of minions, though, so... He's probably gonna MP immediately, which is fine. Oh, damn you.
ここでこうだ当然だろうここでこうだ当然だろう
I don't want an NP seal, I want him to waste it, so let's do that then.
水のうちに準備
この私に命令か畳みかけ
ここで
Should be easy here.
蒼天すでに死す
On. That's just pure pain. Yes, it is. Alright, we are back. Now we just have to hope it doesn't repeat. Because I have had a few times where repeatedly crashed because Lazongal has nothing but spaghetti code running their game.
蒼天すでに死す皇天まさに立つべし星は空死にありて天下大吉ならん
だから俺は先生
いいで大きく崩せ
Full arts chain is probably in our best interest here. And I don't want to use the cooldown reduction on Castoria because hers is if I'm gonna use it, I want to make sure Sherlock's here. Sherlock is a very good last stand servant, and seems that's what he's gonna be doing here. And you can tell this is mine, not the story one, because he's level 100 and NP while still NP1. Because haha, budgets are a pain.
激雷天より来た
何のために
賢明な判断初歩的なことだトムエレメンタルマイティ
Oh, weakening him is the same as making us stronger, so it works.
あれはいつか見た終わ
I
り
want
の
to do
星
both.
どれほど遠く汚れても私は星を探すのですさあ幕を開けてアラウンドカリバーン
かけいじゃ農業は皆得意で
白兵戦行きます負けないぞ
賢明な
The longer I can put off using that, the better as well,
突破
because
します
I usually only get to use Mystic Code spells once a fight after all.
冷たいのが降るぞい
Didn't realize he had a full debuff removal. Might make things slightly more frustrating.
か賢明
Alright,
な
let's do it this way.
面白いなるほど面白い
Well, there we are.
実に興味深い
冷たいのが 気をつ農業は得意で
始めるとしよう。そうか。
Oh, this would be so much easier if Mighty were here.
初歩的なことだ。と
Nah, it's not too long of a wait till them.
エレメンタルマイティフー。面白い。実に興味深い。
Of course, it's just a few thousand off.
今冷たい裏ブルドイ気をつけ。
Shame no one on the field cares. NPC, you don't get that, buddy. Let's finish this.
なるほど。面白い。
Ha.
実に興味深い。
So much for you,
鐘の音が聞こえる。
Oh, dang, that really skyrocketed me to the 4. For enemies there. Skyrocketed for enemies defeated. Is that all you got? He's an even more formidable opponent than I expected. He may even be as powerful as the top-ranked servants. Did he have a Holy Grail himself? No, that wouldn't make any sense. Zhangzhu, the heroic spirit, something sets him apart from the others. Ah, he's having a Jimmy Neutron brain blast. See, now I understand. What is it you think you understand? And a smile. I couldn't hear what he said. There. Ah. Ah. It can't be. That must be it. Curse you, curse you, curse you. Ah, what a failure I am. That's so out of left field, indeed. Well, that's the thing. The game never shows him figuring something out, like, in that weird way, so I figured I should say something relevant, so I thought, Jimmy Neutron Brain Blast! Luckily, memes keep that series alive. Long past... Oh, how would you figure it out? Well, what a fool I've been. An absolute jester. Have I exhausted Heaven's will? Not at all. I never had such a thing in the first place. Now I'm disappearing. I guess I cannot stay here any longer. Does this mean I was mistaken after all? Master. But he didn't die in the way a regular servant does. The enemy servant's gone, though I have to say I didn't feel like my noble phantasm actually did that much. What did you say to him, Holmes? Oh, nothing much. At least I didn't think much of it. But in retrospect, it may have been a grave error on my part. What do you mean? Stop speaking riddles. I asked him if he was really who he thought he was. In this case, I'm afraid our effort may be a tad... Crap, we got an emergency on our hands. This whole fortress is about to collapse. Crap, I should have known that was a... what's it called when a structure holds up? When a structure is important to holding up something? Load bearing, yeah. Oh no, I should have known that was a load bearing boss. Oh, this is fun. This is the fun time everyone's been waiting for. The moment all comes crashing down on our heads. Looks like the old man rigged the fortress to fall apart if he died. Who hasn't dreamed of going out with a bang? Dreamed of going out with a bang. We'd best leave immediately then. Alright, first we need to find the life gate, then scene. That won't be necessary. I know enough to lead the way myself. Seriously? Damn, this detective thing's... Hang on, what do you even need me for then? Let's leave the conversations after we've escaped, then, shall we? What's going on? I don't know, let's get out of here. Wait, that's a taboo direction. Wait, what? Damn, which way do I go? Pardon me. Aha! If we head straight down this passage, we should be able to exit the scene gate. What do you think, Master? Well, this is Sherlock Holmes we're talking about, so then maybe we should just make every in Sherlock Holmes but in different classes. You know, I do think he's been lacking in alt, but sadly they never make summer alts for male characters. That's a terrifying thought. I do have his heroic spirit traveling CE, though, if I remember right. Oh, I have my talents, but I'm no means omnipotent. I would, of course, be an excellent caster, but for now I'm quite content as ruler. I'm pretty sure he has fencing experience, so he could theoretically be a saber. Whether how good of one is probably up for debate, but he should qualify if I'm. Dude, it's good to be outside again. Honestly, I didn't think I was gonna survive this mission, but it went smoother than I thought. Well, now you're a dead man for sure. Just had to tempt fate by saying that, huh? You'd be lucky if you make it back to the righteous realm alive now. Come on, don't scare me like that. Mystery is everything, indeed. Good, the golem horse is still here, and it doesn't seem to have anyone discovered it. No sign of enemies nearby. We should be good to go. Anticlimax much? You're disappointed? Haven't we had enough excitement for one day? Let's just get out of here. Our main target's dead, and that's a huge boon. Still don't want to contact them? It'd be best to wait until we've reached the Righteous Realm's border. Considering the time it'll take them to learn the Arch's collapse, the time it'll take to confirm Zhangzhu's vanished, and time to discover we were here and put together a squadron to pursue us. We have no margin for error, but we should still be in the clear, no matter how fast the rest of time is. As long as we skirt the patrol, we should have little trouble making our escape. Well, that's a relief. Everything's going swimmingly. None of his finely honed instincts are sounding any alarms. The red sky gradually gives way to a pleasant blue. Soon they arrive in the righteous realm, and their mission will be complete. But even amid a peaceful scene, Holmes continues to rack his brain, searching for an answer. An answer to what, you ask? Why, he wishes to understand why I have yet to reappear. He planned for Count Vlad to be one of his allies. Oh yeah, Moriarty. Yeah, Moriarty doesn't seem to be directly involved with this, and even though he's clearly powerful enough that he could have defeated the realms himself. So the question is, why? Not for Count Vlad to become one of his allies. That part I can understand. It would have been an effective way to portion of our combat forces. Why hasn't he shown himself since? Why hasn't he tried another attack on us? He's somehow preoccupied with his role as the foreign disciple. He is, then where could he be in the singularity could he be? More importantly, doing. Wheels in his mind turn, trying to find the truth obscured by clouds of ambiguity. But Sherlock Holmes will never understand. Yet some things escape even the man who supposedly understands everything. Hence, the singularity is akin to a Lostbelt. History is made by people. There is no way to tell how much time has passed when there are no sentient creatures there to experience it. Think of an insect crawling around on the ground for 1 or 2 years. In that situation, one could make a strong case that no time has passed at all. Singularity is the reverse. Servants are the walking incarnation of human history. Yeah, where hero and racer continuously summoned, you could say the path of humanity exists in the background. This is why the idea of rebelling against proper human history is so significant. If Holmes wishes to erase singularity, merely fitting the pieces together won't be enough. He'll need to make massive leaps of logic. With worries of me consuming his every thought, he'll never reach the answer. He's simply not capable of it right now, this I'm certain. In contrast, our goal is well within reach. As the foreign disciple, I'll murder Sherlock Holmes myself. Moriarty sure has a lot of focus for a guy who only existed in one book, that is, the one in which he appeared and then died in. Although I guess with how much the Sherlock mythos brings him in, it's easy to forget that. Locked in the aftermath. Seems our timing's impeccable. Vlad III has just returned as well. Looks like things went pretty well on their end. Damn right they did. Ah! Hey, don't you think it's cool to whack someone with a bowl? I don't know, looks like you're the Durandal there, Roland. Who cares? It's not like it can actually hurt you. What were you saying? Well, you're obviously aware this war was our first battle as a single united army, right? Yes. Went even better than we expected. Count Vlad's orders were brilliant. His troops carried them all out faithfully. Our formations, our troop lineup, everything's perfect. I'm sure Realm will think twice for messing with the righteous realm now. It's wonderful news to hear. How's your assassination mission go? Never mind. Tell by the looks on your faces. Congrats. It all went very smoothly. Guess shows the power of teamwork. And then all's left for you to do is now report back to the Emperor. I gotta make an in-person report. Can't I just give you a written one? No. Wow, you really have nerves of steel, don't you? I'm literally shaking at the thought of meeting Charles the Great. Ah, he'll be fine. He's a real friendly guy. I find that very hard to believe. That concludes our report. For your hard work, everyone. Emperor Charles the Great will now grant you fitting rewards. Well done. I'm so glad to see you have all come back and live it down too proud. We're too kind, Your Majesty. Well, we, your loyal subordinates, are honored to have been of service. A shame you weren't here earlier. Infinity, you missed Sherlock's Jimmy Neutron brain blast. My shoulders are... Still can't believe they're importing me. What'd you get? Some magical enhancing my spirit origin, a support mystic code. Never have too many, of course. They're usually tough to get hold of. Oh, I'm already wrote off the talismans as a business expense, so I'll grab some spirit origin and enhanced materials too. How about you, Sherlock? I suppose we're in the same boat ourselves. You should let the secretary know if you didn't get anything. Strike twice. Look a thing like Reinhardt, what are you talking about? Squeaky wheel gets the grease. Good point. Alright, better get going. I have a lot of training to do if I'm gonna catch up with the rest of the Assassin Brigade. I'll pop him in my spirit form and get some shy later. Hey, Zufu. Still, I suppose FE references are fitting since we're in an actual military situation. Excuse me, do you two have a moment? Of course, Miss Sancho. What can we do for you? You remember our plan to thrack? I do indeed. And I take it, yes, everything is ready. I ask you to come back to the throne room so we may celebrate. Of course, and you, Master. About Zufu and the assassin. I do feel bad about excluding them after all the hard work they put in, but I'm afraid we need to man ourselves. Sorry, Master, we can have another smaller wrap-up party with them later. Mind if we leave early, Miss Sancho? Oh, not at all. Oh, bottoms up. Cheers! Well as it went, it was still only the first of many missions to come. Very well. One should never underestimate a banquet's capacity for increasing morale. Dolfo, you should have seen me out there. There I was, perfectly blended in among the soldiers' nature. Oh, so you didn't actually do much fighting then, did you? Hey, I was part of the team, that's what matters. Used a far sight to watch the battle. You all did magnificently. You were such a perfect lockstep, and I couldn't even tell where you were, Roland. I cautioned them against going off on their own. It's a common mistake among individually skilled soldiers. That aside, while I'm certainly glad this went as well as it did, it's not all good news. How come? My goals for this training exercise was that the troops practice responding in unforeseen accidents. When things are going well, it's a tendency of soldiers to grow overconfident. That is true. Maybe a good idea to train the troops in case something goes wrong. Agreed. I'll put together a plan right away. Oh, please, everyone drink up. Ah, what a great day this has been. Careful, sir. You don't want to get carried away. Indeed. As Tool the Fourth used to tell me, well, admonish is probably a better word. There's nothing more dangerous than a mage in high spirits getting carried away. Oh, you mean you got a Sancho of your own? Oh, yes. Occasionally uncompromising, always demanding. That was Tool for you. That's good to meet someone who knows my pain. Oh, really now? I see. Wait, didn't mean like that, Sancho. Then how did you mean it, sir? So way out of a clearly unfavorable situation. Ash here, I'll be taking over the director for the time being. Congratulations on a dog senpai. Alright, thank you, Mash. Oh, and you too, Kadok. I literally did nothing here, sitting on the sideline watching a battle. Anything noteworthy? No, occasionally you'll get a second or third-rate servant with a surprisingly strong noble phantasm or strength stat. Well, there are a number of servants like that on both sides. They're made for a hell of a show. I don't know if I should say this, but it felt like I was watching a major spectacle. Big flashes of light, magical energy. Kind of being a thing every time a command spell was activated. It happened on both sides, ally and enemy alike. So that was the master up against. Yeah, somehow we have actual armies of servants, and yet they all serve the same master. And why this wants them to fight together, we can't tell. It doesn't seem to take sides agree. Rather interesting. We still don't know what that's all about. No, they're not a cryptor, that's for sure. I'd be damned if I have any idea how a mage ends up like that. Looking this master as well, but it's gotten us nowhere. All we can say at this point was that Holmes was right. The same master is using the command spell on all those servants. See, and what I'm missing. I don't remember how many command spells Kyrie had, but I know Jeanne d'Arc in Fate Apocrypha had 20, and that's the highest I can think of right now, but this, giving a command spell to hundreds of servants on both sides of a fight, not to mention sustaining the energy for that, just isn't adding up. Could another servant be their master? Well, it's not completely impossible for a servant to be another servant's master. Still wouldn't explain how there are so damn many of them. There's no master in the world who could support over 10,000 servants. Let's forget about that for now. We have to wait for it. Let's wait and save it for the player, or as much we'll be much more surprised by it. Anyways, how's the Orton Axe coming along? Afraid it'll take some time. We're just short on staff right now, and Da Vinci's currently on break. Break, huh? See, that's fine then. I don't think urgent to ask her. Just let her get the rest she needs. I will. Now we know little Da Vinci's body is breaking down to some degree, so we don't know how much longer she's gonna last. Hopefully she'll see the end of the Lostbelt storyline, but hard to say. We'll talk to Don Quixote and Sancho. Oh, Master, great work on the mission today. Please have some fruit-infused water. Thank you. Oh, we were lucky to get by with minimal conditions. Truly, I don't think could have gone better. Sir. Yes, I know. I couldn't help any of you myself, but I'm so glad to see you back safe and sound. I mean, you know that. Cheers. Don Quixote. Oh, Lord Holmes, you're enjoying the food, I hope? Of course, these cups are exquisite. Good. Sancho and I put a lot of heart in making these, you know. I had my sir handle everything except cooking. I wasn't doing anyone good anywhere else, so with respect, I beg to differ. You took a hand and fought for what you believed is right. Your principles are the backbone uniting the entire righteous realm. I hope you're right. What useful, sir. You can always clean up after the party. You're giving me the bone tonight, aren't you? Alright, I can take care of it. Maybe it's time I'll go pay those two a visit. Oh, Master, are you turning in for the day? Oh, you're not. There's a green army. Oh, Infinity, this reminds me. Did I show you... Actually, did I show you Constantine, Infinity? He's drawn by the three heads, so it looks like a dead ringer for, Byleth. So obviously, since he's in enemy faction here, we clearly need to get a Shez or Arvel in order to deal that. See, and designate a good place for you all to get together. Here, why don't you bring them these drinks and snacks? Fun. Might have been a while ago. He was first debuted 2 years ago on the home server, the Japanese server. Here. Oh, thanks for the follow, Sethi. I stream just about anything here, so feel free to stop by if something catches your eye. I was expecting the Secretary to call us here all of a sudden. She said something about additional rewards, and there were delicacies at that. And she was right. Of alcohol, refreshments, and fruits. Not to mention tobacco. Oh. There, Sethi, welcome to the stream. Sadly, Constantine the Ninth, Emperor Constantine the Ninth is, no, 11th, is the, how are you finding 6.5? I'm really liking it, personally, quite a bit. I'm on, section 12 right now, the end of it, so, feeling pretty good. I can give you the details later, Denise, but yeah. FGO's gotten a nice selection of artists years. I really like how they have some good variety in the servant designs. I know a lot of people consider it hit or miss, but I think that's part of the charm. Whoa. Hookah supplies, I think I'll take those, no one else minds. Ooh, and I'll stick to tea since I can't drink alcohol. Oh, but I can and I will. Finish on Friday? Oh, nice. And normally I split up a VN a bit, but I might get this one done a bit soon. Or just because there's an indie game coming out this Thursday that I definitely need to pick up. Hey, I've been using Daikoku 10 Infinity. Those are the rats. Above one. Once again, here's a toy job well done. Charles the Great is tremendously pleased. Whoa. Honestly, it doesn't feel entirely real. Yeah. Jew is dead, right? He is. I made sure of it myself. Spirit origin vanished completely. However, he is going to return, or rather, there's a possibility another one of him is waiting in the wings. Zhang Zhu became incredibly flustered when I asked if he was really who he thought he was. He would only respond this way if his personal sense of self was extremely ill-defined. I believe the lack of sense of self was a consequence of him being an imposter of some sort, which is why I asked him that question. So basically Sherlock thinks that he might be just as mass-produced as those automatons he used. Interesting. Really, he sure as hell seems strong enough to be the real deal. Indeed he did, abnormal enough that it left me uncertain as to whether it was truly him in the first place. However, whether that abnormal strong version was the that exists yet is unclear. There could be several of them, much like how the yellow turban puppets he commanded. I'm merely though. I got a feeling he's probably not wrong, though. The story helped me get Jolter Bond 13 and Madara 10. Oh, nice, congrats. Other favorites, especially Grailed servants here, because, yeah, it's just nice to use your particular favorites in the story there. Well, who cares as long as he's gone, and hey, if he comes back, we can assassinate him again. More importantly, we should be celebrating and doing a bit of enhancing our team's bond, if you ask me. Brilliant team you need to fight as part of a unit. Ooh, good hookah, that. Bad for my health, but it's not something I have to worry about, so life is good. Yeah, servants don't have to lung cancer or, well, that's for tobacco, so Holmes is fine. Well, I guess drugs in general, they'd act as an inhibitor, but it won't be bad for their health. Nor will over alcohol consumption. Railed a few up to 80. Regulatory low star, her high investment unit is Jason. Even in this very chapter, I've been getting good use of him because, well, he's just a lot of fun. His NP never ceases to make me laugh. Well, hey, we are servants. Huh, would it change if humans were here? Huh, what do you mean? Like, would they be torn limb from limb or something? Now I see. Getting torn limb from limb, huh? Of course not. That almost happened to you at one of your summonings. Damn, that was kind of a monstrous servants, weren't they? Oh, they're fairies. Fairies, you say? I've heard rumors about them, but I don't know much of what they're actually like. Fairies themselves weren't especially dangerous. If anything, they had more like warped imitations of nature. I see. He basically wants to know if this party will end the same way as the one in Lostbelt 6. Rest assured, as a legally distinct Fey creature, I knew damn well that that situation was going to happen long before it did. I knew it was just a matter of time. Of course, this also means I could do many things to avoid tricks if the game would let me. But of course, we're an FGO protagonist. We have to run headfirst into several bad ideas. But that's how it goes sometimes. I will say I really like Salome. She was definitely a highlight for this not being in for very long. All that aside, I can't say this too loudly. I don't think having humans around would be all that big a deal. Especially not now, when we're mostly focused on taking down the other two realms. Incidentally, we end up here in the Righteous Realm through fairly conventional means. How about you two? What do you think of the other realms? These are the nations we need to defeat, help our friends in our battles against them. Same goes for them. There won't be a peaceful reconciliation in all this. Two realms either surrender everything or be completely destroyed. There's no middle ground. See, so you fight more out of a sense of duty than outright hatred? Something like that, though it still barely feels real to me. I don't care at all for the revenge or reinstatement realm, though. The revenge realm feels especially to me. And the reinstatement realm, well, what about it? Who's their big cheese again? What's my name? Emperor Constantine the 11th. Yes, that's right. Constantine the 11th, the final emperor of Rome. Well, they call it his version, Technically, it was the Eastern Roman Empire run through Constantinople. It's usually called the Byzantine Empire nowadays, just to differentiate from the Western Roman Empire that was run out of Rome. Though I guess most people watching this probably know that, since there's a lot of history buffs around. Alrighty, thanks for stopping by, Emma. You have a good night. I kinda hate his guts. Do you now? Well, that is something of a surprise to hear. In the history of rulers, he's well known for being neither a tyrant nor a fool. I cannot speak to how strong he is as a servant, but as king of the realm, I would expect he has a holy grail backing him. So why do you detest him so? I guess the way he's so high on his own righteousness? At night, Emma. Wrong, I don't want my country to be a den of bribery and lawlessness either, but I also can't relax in places where everything's too perfect, you know? See, you do make a good point. Given the Reinstatement Realm's goal, they have a vested interest in upholding righteous responsibility. And what goal is that? Constantine seeks retribution on proper human history for refusing to let a certain woman exist. Who's that? Pope Joanna. I believe Constantine wishes to rebel against proper human history so that he can make her existence known throughout the world. Johanna. The name sounds familiar, but I can't quite place it. Who's that? A female pope. It was once believed she existed, but later proven definitively that she did not. A very rare being indeed. Heroic spirits, myself included, contain mystics by definition. When our existence is inscribed upon proper human history, much of our real past is included. And how much of our real past is included, and how much is fantasy. Of course, some heroic spirits, such as nursery rhyme, are born solely from a story. And for anyone who isn't aware, Nursery Rhyme actually borrowed the body of her master from Fate Extra, the video game. So that body is actually a recolor of her master's body. So I guess Nursery Rhyme took hers so that she would have a body in the first place. Otherwise, she's normally just a book or story. Barely a physical form at all. Even in-game, you can have her be a floating book, if you like that. Others, such as myself and Mr. Jekyll, come from stories that are heavily based on reality. At times, myth and legends are formed by going back to the past. Yeah, Fate is one of those franchises where they go with the idea that Sherlock Holmes and Jekyll and Hyde were based upon stories that were actually happened in some way or another, just kind of like Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, if you watched my playthrough of that. So, of course, such myths come from reality. Most such myths come from reality. When there's a prime example, like the 12 Olympians, who were real beings in this universe. You mean the gods actually existed? Ah, you don't truly know everything, don't you, detective? At any rate, for the most heroic spirits, reality and fantasy mean very little. But most heroic spirits, as she was said to be Pope, her existence was examined quite thoroughly, and claims of her being real were flatly refuted. I guess I do feel kind of bad for her. That doesn't explain why Constantine would want to reinstate her. You have touched upon the question of why the Reinstatement Realm is doing what they are. The answer is unclear. Maybe he just has the hots for her? Be more crass. I know. Frankly, it sounds like a popeless endeavor to me. Alright, that's a good one. Thanks, I've been practicing. Regardless, it's not a matter over which we need to be terribly concerned. Our focus now is them. Well, sure, but it doesn't look like we'll be fighting Reinstatement Realm anytime soon. True, especially since the current plan is away at Revenge Realm. Anyway, that's enough talking shop. This alcohol drink itself. Agreed, not that I'm gonna drink any. Here, check this out, this shady-looking Taoist medicine. If you add this to alcohol before you drink it, you can get really, really drunk. Woo! Not playing around, is she? Sheesh. Lady you, I hope I can see you again someday. You. Shouting your name because I can't keep my lover bottled up, but don't tell anyone else, okay? Ah, Lady you. Flower blooming in the day. Yeah, for better or for worse, she's one of those servants whose entire existence as a character revolves around another. In the story chapters, they usually get away from that a little, but don't get your hopes on Nikola Tesla or Thomas Edison being in any major story or other, that's for sure. Usually with Helena around. Blavatsky. 17th verse, same as the first. Enough already. Don't drink and summon, kids. Indeed. Can't believe she's been singing for an hour straight. Who has got her drunk again? Oh, right, she did. She did herself. Not much we can do about that. Yeah, that's all I've got. I'd say that's a good sign. It's about time to call it a night. Agreed. Let's at least put a blanket over her first. Thanks. Oh, well, it's been grand. We don't get to work together. Hair. Same to you. Good guy, isn't he? Indeed, enough that it truly pains me. We need to lie to him. This war is about to get much more serious. Charles the Great will, of course, need to come to the front line himself. We need to be brave and work very hard for her to navigate this tightrope of the situation without any success. Of course, it's also possible the situation is about to take a sudden, potentially dramatic turn. Oh, this one looks really long. All-out war with the reinstatement first half. I will say I do like how this chapter is not wasting too much time. They're basically getting into the meat of things right away. And actually that does seem like a genuinely good part to call the cliffhanger. Because it's been 4 hours now and I probably were going too late. I'm probably gonna do this next time just to keep things going. While I shut everything down, let me see if I fade around. Actually, Delver TV Warframe right now, if anyone watching is going to be interested in. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Alright, if you want to meet up with Delver TV, check out Warframe stuff, by all means, stick around. Until next time, thank you for watching, hope you had a good time, and I'll see you later.